on Warchant TV. Good to be with you as always. That is Ira. There is Corey. Hello, boys. How the hell are you?
What up?
Fantastic. I like you rocking the Register's hat.
Yeah, I broke out the Register's hat here today. I figured I hadn't worn it, not on camera anyhow. I wear it around the house frequently. Maybe when I'm running up to Publix to do something.
Or going out Friday night.
Yeah, or something like that. But I needed to embrace one of our great sponsors, the great sponsor that is Register Sausage. So without further ado, yay, sausage!
Guys, there's so much to talk about with Register Sausage. Maybe this will be the whole show. First of all, BOGO at Publix?
That's crazy.
Did you see that?
That's crazy.
I mean, what are we doing? What's funny is a friend of ours, Keith Cottrell.
Yeah.
He's not getting a cut of this.
He loves sausage.
He does. He does. He really does.
Yeah.
You've known about him for a while.
For years.
But he texted me a couple weeks ago and he's like, "Hey man, can we ever get a BOGO for the registers?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point." Didn't do anything about it. Didn't say anything.
You ignored him.
And then here you go. Here it is. So when I saw it, I texted him a picture and said, "Look, man, look who took care of it."
Did you take credit for it? You should have. You should have said, "Hey, look what I did."
You're urging. You're responsible for this, Keith. But anyway, the BOGO still is on. If you have a Publix in this part of the country, go ask for your BOGO sausage. There's only 3 kinds though, not the andouille, just the regular, the hot, and the and the baby links, the kind of the breakfast sausage.
I like those.
But also beyond that, guys, we still have the sausage party coming up a week from Thursday over at the Hub.
I'm sad I'm missing
9
this
days
thing.
away.
You should be.
I am sad that I'm missing it.
We should do a live stream.
It's going to be awesome. May 30th, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Hub at Feather Oaks. That's the official name?
Yeah,
or just look up where Corey got married. If you Google that, the AI will tell you that's what
you could look that up in Montana and it would pop up.
Yes, exactly.
I think they have a plaque where we actually got married. They've already installed a plaque.
They're actually, so it's going to be free sausage, and also their friends at Oyster City Brewing,
showing up
your
big.
friends are. They're going to be there as well. They're going to be offering samples.
I've been known.
They're going to have you've sampled it once or twice. They're going to have a combination of 5 different sausages paired with 5 different beers. And again, the sausage is all going to be free. Beers, there's going to be some sampling. But if you want to get after it, you got to buy your own.
If you end up having a few beers, the sausage is always free. That's how that works. That's how it generally works.
Usually. I mean, I'm not going to say in all cases, but usually the sausage is free.
Yeah.
Once the beer starts flowing.
Once the beer starts flowing.
So we'll see you there.
Good times. No, I won't be there, and I'm pissed that I won't be there. I especially, I got madder when I saw that Ben was all in.
Oh, you see his promo
video?
I
saw the promo. I'm like, well, man, even the man himself is out here pimping this, and I can't be at it. That sucks. It's like the one week I'm going away all summer.
Yeah, people get to meet us all the time, but Ben the Sausage Guy is going to be there.
Yeah, he's hard to find. I see him at the golf course sometimes, usually as I'm coming or going, and it's fleeting. I would have hung out with him at this thing.
So come on out a week from Thursday, and we'll all go and make fun of Jeff for not being there.
You can make fun of me. I'm going to be having a good time. I'll probably be at Citi Field watching the Mets play the Brewers, I think it is. And then from there, it's not going to suck. It'll be all right.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's me at a professional baseball game, drinking a beer, eating a hot dog with kids. It's going to be fun.
Not a register sausage.
No, well, maybe Ben's expanded.
Yeah, maybe by that time.
I'm going to take a picture from there. Check it out. Look at this sausage. All right, boys. So what do we think about the baseball's team chances here? What we like I don't really care about the ACC tournament. Dirty little secret here. I don't care about it unless they have a chance to win it. So, I don't really hardly pay attention. And then if they're there with a chance to win, I'm like, oh, well, now I care. Now I'll claim the ACC title, which I think is bogus because of this silly format. And the regular season told you what these teams were already.
It is a silly format, but also listening to Link talk about it the other day, it does make you appreciate the fact that it's not some crazy marathon like it used to be, where you'd use all your pitching up in an ACC tournament, and then
they get 2 days off in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah, it's weird,
crazy.
Yeah, so that from that standpoint, at least there's not going to be like any additional wear and tear. This is going to be a good week for them in terms of just expending energy going into.
I think watching this weekend what happened against Georgia Tech, it is safe to say that if Cam Leiter doesn't come back, they're not winning a national championship.
Unlikely.
Odds are they're not going to anyway, just because it's hard to win national championships, and this program has proven that. But if they don't get him back, they just don't have enough firepower coming out of the on the pitching staff. It was nice to see Whitaker actually pitch well, the 2 innings he pitched. But Connor Whitaker isn't Cam Leiter. Connor Whitaker is a nice pitcher, and he's a very reliable one. But Cam Leiter can be a difference maker, a game changer, a game saver. And if he doesn't pitch this week, well, then just enjoy the great season.
I would say for this particular
That's what I said
team,
on yesterday's show.
I would say though, for this particular team, Whitaker's probably exactly what you need. I mean, how many games this year have they had a 3 or 4 run lead going into the 6th, 7th innings, and it's just evaporated in 5 batters?
What's funny is that he pitched in the Clemson series. He had the 11-2 lead, but in the 6th inning, he got kind of, they started rocking him, and he came out of the game. If he was in this role, 11-2 coming into the 6th, you're like, yeah, man, that's a wrap, and he would have wrapped up the 8-1 game too. That he is a very value. I don't want to say he's not valuable. It's just that you look around the country, your arms don't match up with the elite teams around the country. If you have Cam Leiter, though, you have Jamie Arnold, who's one of the best starting pitchers in the country, and then you have, I think, if Cam Leiter is in that role and gets a chance to do it once up there this week, maybe you have one of the better, more dynamic guys coming out of the bullpen.
This has been a fun year.
But it's been a fun year.
And I wanted to make mention, and I did yesterday. I spent the opening segment of the show talking about, let's not forget from whence they came, right?
Yeah.
How bad that team was a year ago. And I kind of likened it to the terrible situation Norvell found himself in. Like, when you first come in to a situation where the team is a mess and the locker room's not good and you have ugly situation, you're just looking for evidence that you got the right guy. So then Mike proved pretty quickly. It was tough early, but next thing you know, we all knew he was the right guy. Then you start aspiring for national championships and things like that. Well, you knew Link had been a coach of the year. You know what he is. So he's a good coach, but you have the season last year. It would have been disastrous to have a follow-up bad season, because then you'd be like, well, what is going on here? But how quickly this guy flipped an unmitigated disaster to where Florida State had their worst year ever, and this year is currently sitting as a top 8 national seed in the RPI.
Yeah, right on the cusp. Yeah.
Like, they could suck in this postseason. I'm not saying they will, but they could.
It doesn't ruin the season.
No, they matter again. The only reason you'd be disappointed is because you now have expectations.
Right. But I also think this is the last year you get to say that. Like,
sure,
what I mean? Like, next year, the bar has been raised.
They'll keep adding.
Yeah,
right.
But the bar has been raised to where it's not going to be just okay. Like, hey, isn't this cool that you're back?
No. That's what this year was.
Yeah, this is an important step. It's an important step to be able to have a year like this. You don't go from 0 to 60 typically in a year. For them to even be in the conversation of a top 8 national seed, I think people forget how awful it was last year.
Oh, I reminded them yesterday.
I want to remind people there was a stretch last season where they went 2-22 in a 24-game stretch.
Yeah.
2-22.
A lot of close games, though.
It was a stretch.
Well, they need just one one more can too.
Wasn't there a stretch where they lost 11 straight?
Probably.
And they were all ass beaten. There are. I went back and looked. Yeah, well,
you're losing 22 of 24. It's probably had an 11-game losing streak in there somewhere.
Yeah. Almost would have had to have.
I think it was also important. This season was very important for him and for the staff in terms of going out and getting additional players this offseason, because look at what you've proven now with guys that some of these guys did not have great reputations. Some of them came out of junior college. Some of them came out of schools where they weren't as high profile, and they've had great success. That's going to be helpful as you go into the market this offseason. But, man, the biggest thing, selfishly, is, man, I'm so happy they're going to get to host a regional.
It's been a minute.
It's
2018.
I was there.
You remember how that one went?
Oh, it didn't go well.
Yeah, it went well until the rain delay.
Let's bring it back out, guys.
I actually wasn't at that weather delay, that rain delay, because I was covering. Brady was playing a tournament somewhere.
You were keeping the book so you could yell at the coach.
Right, yeah. I know. How is he? This kid's not an all-star.
What are we doing?
You got crap in your eyes? Was it a real weather delay?
Oh,
or was it a
no, it was a legitimate weather delay.
Okay, was it a Dick Hauser?
It wasn't lightning in the Keys.
Okay.
There was actual problems with weather.
Okay.
But we all were standing around like, they're really going to do this?
Oh, man.
He's coming back out.
When he came back out, I was sick to my stomach, and I said it out loud. If he gives up a home run, this is going to be a tough conversation around 11.
Yeah.
Because this is asinine.
And then he announced
that home run went a very long ways.
It was a couple months later. He announced the next year would be his last year.
Yeah, that was a rough.
That was a toughie. That was a toughie, buddy.
That's crazy. That was the last time they hosted an NCAA regional. 6 years.
It goes by fast too, because that felt like it was just the other day. But I was thinking about it because I was trying to remember the last time we hosted. And I was thinking
before
that
COVID.
after
you
that,
never even heard of Dr. Fauci.
Nobody even knew COVID existed.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
it was COVID-18 back then.
So So I ended up taking the boys for ice cream after that game. And I remember I was pretty pissed as we were sitting there eating the ice cream. And I was like, who brings him back out? Why would you have done that?
Guys, you don't see this every day. I want you to really savor this moment where they're going to bring a pitcher back after 2.5 hours.
Still hurt. Still hurt.
But the more we brought up a painful subject.
The demons, I guess, now with this hosting a regional.
But I have to imagine that's the longest. I should look it up. Maybe I'll look it up during the break. The longest they've ever gone without hosting a tournament game at Dick Howser Stadium. 6 years is a long time.
In decades, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they would host every year. So for them to go 6 years without hosting one, again, that's cool. That's just cool that that'll happen.
That spoke to that team that he felt the need to do that. Like, that team clearly didn't have dependable arms in the bullpen, or you wouldn't have felt
talking about 18?
Yeah.
Oh,
you wouldn't have felt it.
We don't need to relitigate that.
My point is that just again shows how far the program had been sliding. Even when he was still the head coach. I mean, it's not like the program was cruising along.
No, it wasn't.
It was going in the wrong direction. And that's, kind of like.
Well, 19, the crazy run to Omaha kind of
masked
what was really going on. And it kept getting worse. I mean, again, I think the fact that they haven't hosted.
For a club baseball player.
Yeah, exactly. Tim Becker, man. I wonder what he's up to. I was
hitting home runs in St. Paul.
Somewhere, yeah. I mean, golly, that was
things, right?
That's when Tim Becker is hitting home runs in Athens and then getting big hits against LSU, you're like, maybe this is the year. Yeah. And then they won the first game out there in Omaha, 1-0. They scored 1 run, an unearned run. And you're like, man, maybe all the gods have come together and 11's going to go out with this storybook inning. Oh, wait, no, they're done. 1 and 2.
Did you get on to our boy Aslan with the question where he didn't remember Tim Becker clearly?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'll mention it to you off air. It was great. It was
some
sort of question
to me on air.
Well, but I'll get into the details.
Okay.
Of it. It was a question that he asked, and I think he immediately regretted it because I was like, yeah, man, Tim Becker did this. We all watched it. Wasn't that long ago. And it was kind of funny when it happened. But that said, because I was giving you a compliment. You have pretty much an encyclopedic knowledge of Florida State athletics. I would have figured had you heard it, you would have busted his ass for it.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Wait till you get as old as us, though.
Yeah, exactly. I hope I never get that old.
The fog is coming. The fog is coming, buddy.
That doesn't look like life. That doesn't even look like a life worth living.
Hey, so I got to address something that happened last night. Ira and I did the Monday Smash together, and I accidentally.
Was Jeff on good behavior?
Killed it.
Okay, good.
I was on fire. But I accidentally banned somebody, an important member.
He banned James B.
I banned James B. Now, I did not mean to ban James B.
I didn't even know you had that option.
Oh, I can ban anybody. I'll ban you.
But in a YouTube?
I can right over here and ban you. See, right now, there's Noel Dad. If I want to ban his ass, I can do it. So what happened was a Miami fan came in because we were talking about Miami's desperation and how much their payroll is this year.
Right.
They can't let Mario fail. And so I saw this guy come in and he had the orange and green
rabble rouser.
And he was a rabble rouser. And I got to make a comment, but then I got a quick trigger
right
when it comes to Miami people. You're out.
You'll start banning anyone near them.
Yeah. So I reached over to grab the mouse, and James B was just below the Miami guy, and I went to click on the Miami guy, but the problem was somebody else added to the chat,
and
so it moved
up right into your arrow.
It scooted up, and I
right into your
fired
scope.
on James B. Caught him clean, and he's out. And then I was like, oh, well, let me go get this Miami fan before I apologize to James B., which I did. And then now they're in the chat saying James B. is gone. I can't get.
Oh no, he's perma-banned from YouTube.
James
B.
He
can't even get on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, Tough Love Cameron got in there. There he is.
All right,
hey.
Good.
I was gonna say we could do a James B. tribute episode where we just share our favorite James B. stories, retrospective.
Man, yeah,
but he's back.
And James B. and I get along swimmingly, but we haven't always agreed. And
right.
so I was worried he was going to think Cameron's up to his old antics again, just dismissing me out of hand, and I wasn't doing that. So I'm glad we fixed it.
But he will ban people in the chat, but he apparently says he doesn't block people on Twitter.
No.
Which I didn't used to do, but now I'm blocking people all the time. I've taken to block.
Well, like you said, you throw chum out there to see who you can get to. I mute people. I don't look at your mentions. Well, that's true. I don't look at my mentions.
I actually like Corey. I rarely, every now and then I'll look just because people do say nice things and you want to be able to respond to that.
Interact. It is called social media.
Yeah. Where, it devolves quick, but I will tell you that I don't often look either. I've kind of taken the same tact as Corey, but
you guys are big.
Elitists, yes,
true,
absolutely.
Yep.
But I will mute I will mute. There are people yelling at me right now that think they're getting through to me that I've muted years ago. They have got no idea. They're just yelling at the wind. You know, they're calling me every name in the book, and I'm like, I have no idea. And I like knowing that they're angry about the fact that I won't respond because I don't know what they're saying. I have no idea. Mute is a beautiful thing.
Well, also, like somebody's going to say something that's dumb, and I'm going to feel the need to respond because I know my personality. And then it's going to become a back and forth.
You can't let just dumbassery sit
now
there.
I'm blocking, man.
You're just blocking.
I used to be against the blocking, but now I'm pro blocking. So it's a new because
Ira's like he's a glow. He's a glow.
Well, because for a long time I took the high road and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah,
and I do for the most part.
Not anymore. Not anymore. You're like, I'm too old for this. I'll ban your ass.
Yeah. I mean, I blocked a few people, but mostly I stopped doing that a few years ago. But then, you stopped checking. So there's probably a lot of people in my mentions that I should block or call the cops on. But I don't. I just let they're
James
there.
B is not only back, he's contributing to the program. I should ban you more often.
Yeah,
James
I know.
B.
Yeah,
Good
we don't
Lord.
need that here. Ban that.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thanks. James B.
Appreciate it.
Glad you're back out of jail.
All right, so we're saying to put a ribbon on the baseball part of this for now. Just have fun with this wherever it goes.
Yeah.
Whether it's the ACC tournament.
Well, it'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what happens there.
No,
I care what happens in the region.
How could you with this format? You play on a Tuesday and then a Friday, and you have to win. I mean, who cares?
I will say the format favors Florida State to win the tournament. I mean, it does. It sets them up nicely. They could really, in theory, use two pitchers.
But you got to win today. And
you have to win today.
And I would hope they're not going to throw Arnold on a Tuesday. That wouldn't make any sense to me. He just faced Georgia Tech.
The good news is Georgia Tech's going to be throwing one of their pitchers.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring affair, I believe, later on today.
Who are they going to throw?
I don't know. I wouldn't think it'd be Arnold. And I don't think it'd be Dorsey. I think
no. But then you got the hodgepodge of suck.
Oh yeah, that's why you're going to lose this game.
Yeah, but so is Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
I mean they're hot.
Unless they decide
their staff sucks too.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, their center fielder, Georgia Tech center fielder, is incredible.
Yeah.
He's the freshman of the year.
Oh yeah, he's
from Atlanta. He's from Houston County.
He's
not
like
Houston.
5'9", isn't
he's
he?
5'9", and I texted that to Brady because Brady's always worried about his height and how he can never be a really good baseball player because of his height. Well, he's never going to be a major leaguer. But I'm like, man,
don't tell him that, Corey. Don't you ruin that kid's dreams.
But he's listed at 5'9", which means he's probably 5'8", and he was the best player I saw Florida State play all year.
He was an awesome player.
Shane Robinson was not very tall.
And was also a very good player and made it to the majors.
He did.
How tall was Tony Thomas? I don't remember.
Not real tall. No. Not real tall.
Well, they didn't like to recruit tall guys back in the day.
No. Well, this was a common complaint. There was a discussion of every time we played Georgia Tech and Clemson, I'd be like, boy, it's odd how they're bigger at every position.
Not a lot of Cantus or Max Williams.
I guess big guys weren't coming to the camp back
right.
then.
That's true.
That's how that was happening.
How about that softball team, though, Jeff?
I brought it up. You guys would have been shocked. All that Lonnie's had to overcome with that team this year, the pitching woes, the injuries, having to rely so much on her freshmen.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. That is awesome. So, and screw Auburn. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And screw Auburn. It's a beautiful thing.
I brought this up on Wake Up Warchant. So, they were supposed to play the championship game at 4 p.m., but they moved it to 6 because Auburn's game the night before
had
gone till 3 in the morning.
That's the advantage you have.
Not only that, how about scoring before 3 in the morning, Ira? Like, it's not Florida State's fault you can't score a run against UCF.
How about player welfare?
I know. Hey, I get exactly right. How about a sack bunt? Get the runners in motion. Get somebody on base.
What time did they start that game that ended
10.
at 3? Well,
well, they started at 10 because of rain.
I do think that Lonnie had some complaints about the remember the Women's World Series when they had all those delays and FSU was out there and they got having them.
They started a game at like 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so she complained about that some of the time. I think it would be probably disingenuous to come back now and be like, no, screw you. We're playing at noon.
Hey, it's our regional.
Yeah,
this is what we're doing. Yeah. Screw you.
And also,
you think it'd be hypocritical?
Auburn threw that pitcher the whole game. I watched it, which is incredible. Saturday night, I got home at 11:30.
What were you doing?
I was like, you know what? Who's Florida State going to play tomorrow? Let me check on that UCF Auburn regional.
Wow,
it was the 6th
That's
inning.
Dedication, people. I don't have that.
It was the 6th inning at 1-1, and I'm like, I just started watching it, and I kept watching it for the next 3 hours. I'm watching that game.
It becomes a challenge.
Exactly right. I had to challenge myself.
The pitcher for Auburn threw 225 pitches. The pitcher for UCF threw 200 pitches.
Yeah.
Was anybody making contact?
Though Auburn made a lot of contact. UCF made none. That girl struck out 21. I'm surprised it's still not going on. And they're at the 1,000th pitch each. But so that was me on a Saturday night into Sunday morning. There couldn't have been more than 12 of us in the world watching that live stream of the UCF Auburn softball game at 3 a.m. But it wasn't someone connected with the school or a family member.
I admire your dedication. There's zero chance. Although I do succumb to the challenge. I've done that with programs or major league games that I have no vested interest in.
Yeah, but you're like, I got to see how this ends.
Yeah, like I see somebody score 3 in the 9th to tie it, and then I'm like, okay. But with the new extra innings rules, it doesn't happen as often. Yeah. Back in the day, you might be up till 4. Right. It could be a 20-inning game.
And so that's what I was saying, Ira. It's like I was able to get up on Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
And I could have played a softball game at 1 p.m. Why can't those talented athletes play at 4?
Valid point.
Yeah, fair enough. Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV continues in a moment.
At Paul's Termite and Pest Control, we know if you have something in your home that's not supposed to be there, you want it gone now.
Not in a couple of days, not tomorrow, but today. That's why we offer a same-day guarantee.
If you call Paul's before 12, one of our technicians will be out before 5. We guarantee it.
The health of you, your family, and your pets is why we promise to do everything possible to quickly resolve your problem.
And we do so using the safest chemicals. Notice a pest problem?
Call Paul's Termite and Pest Control before 12, and we're there before 5.
Call Paul's.
We'll get them all.
We're all spending more time at home than we ever have.
And our yards have become more than something we look at through the window. They are now a major part of our refuge.
Now that we're outside more, wouldn't it be great if we could eliminate the things that make us want to run back inside? Pests like mosquitoes and fire ants.
Paul's Pest Control can do just that, and we'll do it for a surprisingly low cost.
Our treatments are done outside. There is never a reason to enter your home.
The weather is beautiful, and now is the time to be outside.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control will help you take your yard back.
Call us for a free consultation.
Searching for the best place to spend time outdoors this spring and summer? The Golf Club at Summerbrook has all the amenities you and your family need. Purchase a family pool membership this season and enjoy the most luxurious and relaxing resort-style pool in the entire city. With a 6,000 square foot deck, covered pavilion, and poolside drink and food service, you'll feel like you're on vacation. Reserve your pool membership today. Visit the Golf Club at Summerbrook.com or call 850-894-GOLF. That's 894-GOLF.
I'm Greg Tisch here to share one of my favorite TCC stories. In the summer of 1966, Eugene Lamb wanted to stay in shape before leaving to play college basketball in Louisiana. So he jogged to Tallahassee from his home in Midway and helped lay the bricks for the first building on what's now the TCC campus on Appleyard Drive. Today, he is a longtime member of the TCC District Board of Trustees. It's no exaggeration when we say Trustee Lamb helped build TCC into what it is today.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
Have you been injured on Interstate 10? I'm Jimmy Fasig of Fasig Brooks Law Offices. We've partnered with RoadProof to access all interstate traffic cameras along I-10 from Pensacola to Jacksonville. Let us help you get the proof you need to stand up for yourself and get fair compensation for your injuries. Call us today and let us secure the proof you need to come back stronger. Fasig Brooks, 850-777-7777, offices Destin, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Dave, I'd like to know how this even came up. I'll read since you have contributed. 6 months ago, I asked Ira if Jeff did radio because he can't read or write. Ira said, thank you, Ira, by the way, that Jeff is the most well-read on the staff. With that in mind, Jeff, will you be reading some Irish literature before the trip? Anyone making a reading list for their kids? I read James Joyce years and years and years ago. He is an Irish author. That was Ulysses. And no, other than poets, I haven't read any more Irish literature.
You reading a lot of poetry lately?
No, not lately. Not lately.
That's something I stopped doing. I feel like I stopped doing right around high school ended.
High school.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I did, bug.
But I did read the most famous of the Irish authors. So
I'll probably read some Van Morrison lyrics,
which is also great. Yeah. And those first 4 records are all incredible. But anyhow, that said, Dave, why did you think that I couldn't read or write?
Dave likes to have fun. He probably was just a
Good
joke or
Lord,
something.
Dave.
Was Jonathan Swift, is he Irish? The one that did when they were having the potato famine, that his modest proposal was to eat the babies? It was ironic story, but I think he was Irish.
Satire.
It was satire.
Yeah.
But I might read that again.
I don't think you will.
No, I mean, I said I might.
I'm going to guess that he won't.
Usually when I tell Brady.
The arts, we a couple weeks ago for Mother's Day, we went down to your neck of the woods to the Dolly
which is awesome.
museum thing.
That museum is amazing.
It really is. Not my cup of tea, I'll be honest with you. I'm not like the highfalutin art guy, but the nice thing is they have some people there that give some context
and
kind of explain some things.
Dude, that Dolly Art Museum is beautiful.
It is.
You know where that, so you were just there. Sadly, that is across the street from what used to be Allang Field, which now the Rowdies play at. And there's nothing wrong with the Rowdies. I grew up on the Rowdies, but they used to play in Tampa Stadium. But that Allang Field, if you had walked across the street, you would have seen they kept home plate. And it's still there. And Babe Ruth hit there. And, a lot of really amazing players from the 20s and 30s. One of the greatest stories ever written in the St. Pete Times was about this guy that was living in a condo downtown, ran into an old man, like 100 years old, in the same condo, kept seeing him trying to carry grocery up the steps, and he was like, oh, I'll do that for you. You don't have to do that. Turns out that dude played with Babe Ruth, fell in love with St. Pete when they used to go there to spring training. Wow. He writes the story for the Times. The guy invites him into the house for proof that he, played with all these guys, pictures, and his original glove.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool story. Anyhow, that
guy's dead now.
Oh, they're
so
all
Babe
dead.
Ruth.
They're all dead. Yeah.
And Jonathan Swift.
Damn it, Corey, don't remind me. Babe Ruth's dead.
Babe Ruth's dead. Can you believe it? It's only been 75 years.
Has it been a little more than that even?
Maybe the 40s, right? Like mid-40s.
Yeah.
But going back to softball, the one thing I did want to say about it, and Corey wrote about it, you can read, go over to warchant.com. Corey has a column about, just the softball team and baseball team that they both have pretty much, these have been successful seasons no matter what happens from here on out. But again, it's so cool to me the way this year started for that softball team, the way that, they just had some.
They were getting embarrassed. They were getting humiliated.
Something that Lonnie Alameda's never experienced before. And what I thought was cool at the time is you'd watch her emotions like on the sideline or when she would go make pitching changes and she just was still the same calm, like took it all in stride as when they're going to the World Series and competing for national championships. And I just, at the time, I'm thinking, what's going through her mind, and then to navigate all they've gone through to get to this point now where you putting a freshman Dantley out there or you're bringing up a freshman to bat and they're coming through in these moments, like that's got to be more gratifying as a coach to go through all that in one season and see those freshmen come through the other side. It's got to be as gratifying as, I'm not going to say is winning it all, but it's got to be up there.
Well, that's why she got emotional when she did the interview with the ACC Network with one of her old players, which was really neat to watch, and to see her get emotional was cool just because,
Who was interviewing her? Alex Powers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it reflects, by the way, that of what you speak. This is a woman who's had to try to take it in stride and figure out, how do I push buttons? How do I bring these kids along? How do I deal with all of this? When you've been as good as they've been for as long as they've been, that's a hell of a step back to try to navigate all that.
And because you would think, I don't know, man, especially if you've won a national title, I think in our nature is people that are not successful at that level in any arena athletically, you'd almost be like, you know what, this year 2025 is going to be a lot more fun. At some point you would think you'd be just turning the page and developing for next season. And clearly that was never part of
but
it.
But it's cool that this was like you wanted to see it in all sports, but it's a culture season. It's a season that's built on the culture of because most teams would cash it in when they were pitching like that. Like, it's just like, okay, we might make the tournament. We're going to be a 2 seed. We're going to be on the road. We'll probably play 3 games in the NCAA tournament and be bounced.
Well, you'd imagine some of the seniors if you didn't have a great culture, you could see some of the seniors being like, man, F this.
Yeah.
This
what is
sucks.
this? Where's Cat? Where's Cat? Because I don't want to watch it. I can't field behind this. They keep going at 50 feet over the fence.
Yeah.
But for them to get where their season's going to end in Oklahoma, either way. But either way, whether they pull off the upset, they got to Oklahoma. And I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they get that stage.
Well, I think it's more than a softball story. It's like somebody said that softball talk could be numbing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I haven't always talked a lot of softball, but sports come a long way. Moreover, this is just about the culture. It's really cool when that happens, when you watch things get flipped and then you see it pay off.
And you don't accept mediocrity.
Right.
You have a standard and you stay to it. And that's what you want to see with baseball. That's what you want to see with football. I think he's built it in football. We'll see. This is a great test. This year coming up is a great test for that.
Well, and I think this is why I always say you're not a victim of your own success. Like, you're going to be held to a standard. Now, there may be years you don't reach it. Obviously, more years than not, if you're very successful and you last for a long time, you do. But once you get to a place where the expectations are that high, there's no going back. You're allowed. You're not going to get fired, but you have a bad season, you're going to be called on having a bad season. That's the way it should be. Like, switching gears to what he's talking about. Like, if they go 8-4 or 7-5, God forbid, this year in football, there's going to be criticism of Mike, and there should be.
Real quick on the softball not being entertaining, whatever. Listen, the only thing I would, and I'm not going to get on a high horse because we don't cover softball as much as we should, probably in terms of the quality of play. If you think college softball is not a fun sport, just try to watch it. Like, because if you haven't watched it in the last 5 years, it is a very fun sport, man. It's to me, I've said it before, I think it's a more fun sport than college baseball. Give it a shot is all I would say. And the other thing I would say is,
it's so fun. Some people will watch a UCF Auburn game
till 3 in the morning.
I'm not with you there, but I appreciate that about you.
You know how much fun that was?
Yeah, you must have been filled
after
with glee afterwards. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe I'm just now going to bed. And for what was that?
And also, Dave said in the chat, he told the story.
He was kidding.
Just to show you that I had your back in case you had any doubts.
Oh no, I don't have any doubts about you. You're not shaky.
Solid
as a rock. I trusted the both of you when I'm not around.
I will say about softball though, they got to dial it back up now again. Like, it's lasting longer than baseball games.
Some of the,
especially this weekend. I mean, and it wasn't just that lasted 5.5 hours because it was a 1-to-1 game.
It had gotten very fast.
10 innings.
It's definitely slowed down.
But by the way, one of the things that drew people back to the game that they had maybe never, I shouldn't say back, draw people to the game to begin with. Like, 7 years ago, this would not be happening. No, I would be like, boys, stop. We have 4 listeners left because you guys insist on talking about effing softball. And I hated it. When God bless her, Dr. Joanne Graff was here.
She's still here.
You couldn't, coaching. You could not drag me to a women's softball game. I wouldn't go. It was the worst sport in the history of sports.
Yeah. The race is to 1.
Yeah, and they were all running out of the box button. It was the dumbest sport ever. And I couldn't watch it. Yeah. Now it's much more athletic.
Yeah.
And part of the reason it became watchable
a lot of bombs too.
Well, it got more exciting, and it was a 2-hour affair.
Yeah.
You're in, you're out. That's what people like more than
fast.
Baseball.
They hit for power. There is great athleticism, incredible fielding. I think the defense sometimes is it's just incredible. Some of the plays you see defensively.
Yeah, so it's changed a lot. To your point, it's changed a lot for people who haven't checked in on it in a while. You should probably check it.
But it's cool that she has such a cool that she has a good program. It's a great barometer for Link to try to follow. I know I didn't phrase that correctly, but I think if he can get the baseball program, that's all what we want. Be like softball. Be where, like, even a down year, you're going to the supers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think they're probably on the cusp of
and
that.
I feel like they are too. Now he's got to do it again next year because he's losing a ton. But we think he's going to replicate it and replace it with good players again, to Ira's point, because they've proven what they can do with the Cantus and Dingises of the world, that I think they're going to have a lot more success getting players next year.
frankly, had they not suffered injuries to 2/3 of their starting rotation,
be number one in the country.
They'd be right there.
Legitimately.
I mean, we saw what they were. So, yeah, I mean, they're already pretty much back. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now.
The state is dedicating more resources to fight human trafficking. Florida currently ranks 3rd in the country for the number of cases reported. The National Human Trafficking Hotline said more than 1,253 people across Florida were identified as victims of human trafficking in 2021. This week, Governor DeSantis signed a bill aimed at helping human trafficking survivors. Under the new law, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement will launch its own human trafficking hotline, 1-855-FLA-SAFE, on July 1st. By having a dedicated hotline, more potential victims could be rescued compared to relying on the national hotline. The law also raises the age someone can work in adult entertainment, like at a strip club, from 18 to 21. Even though the average trafficking victim is 13, this change will lead to fewer victims. Governor DeSantis said he plans to approve nearly $5 million to expand access to emergency beds for human trafficking survivors and provide more support staff when he signs the state's budget. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 88. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again tonight. Lows level off around 68. High temperatures reach up to 90 tomorrow. Mainly clear skies. Highs level off around 91 Thursday under mainly sunny skies. 90 Friday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 81.
Honey, can you go up in the attic and get a few things for me?
Sure, honey. Well, this is going to be fun. Where's that light switch again? Whoa, can't stand there. I don't even want to know what that was. Why am I up here? There has got to be a better way.
Honey, are you okay?
There is. The Southeast Portable Buildings. Call them today. 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400. No need to get up in that attic any longer when you can call Southeast Portable Buildings. They have sizes to help with the smallest space needs to the largest. Call them today. 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400. Or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
Still don't know what that thing was in the attic.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
So the three of us, right, have all submitted our top 40. We're all good. I haven't gone back and check on everything. Have we revealed? Has it all been revealed yet?
No, when's that happening?
Soon. We'll start soon.
It wasn't
rolling them out.
Wasn't easy.
No,
even the top 5 wasn't easy.
No. I'll tell you, and here again, speaking to the talent acquisition that this staff has done, I mean, I felt like there was 10 guys I should have had in my top 40.
I agree.
And there was 3 years ago where
aren't in the top 40.
Yeah, there's
3 years ago there were
it was hard
probably
to find
the same
15
thing.
guys that should have been top 40. Right
there were
now,
only 10 guys that should be in the top 40.
This time, I mean, literally, I've got a list of like 10 to 15 guys that I want in the top 40, but I can't get them in the top 40. Whereas, again, a few years ago, once you got past like 12 or 13, it's
I
don't even think I put
tough sledding.
I don't. Now that I think back, I don't think I put Mastromato in there. He's a key part of the.
I put him in there, and usually I'm the guy that's
dog too.
Yeah, I put them both in there, buddy.
No, I put Fitzmagic in there. I didn't put. I think I forgot to put Mastromato
Ray Guy
in there.
finalist.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake on your part.
I know. I wish I could go back.
Years obsolete at this point.
I
think with that kind of a gaffe,
yeah,
we're gonna have to move on without you.
It is. I think Gene said there's a.
That's like the 12 writers that didn't vote Hank Aaron first ballot Hall of Famer.
It's always.
That's the same. It's a very comparable.
You can yank their vote, by the way. The guy
you should put them in prison.
That's the
because they're not doing good things in their other. They have some.
You know why that happened?
Of course, and it's in. You should be in prison.
Yeah.
But I think there were multiple people getting number 1 votes. There's a lot of interesting developments in this top 40.
I think the consensus will be that DJ was number 1, but you're right. There were multiple people. It's a great mystery. But the bottom line is, I agreed, and we went into it, and I said at the time, this is going to be funny because more than any other year, there's going to be you know how we like to occasionally have these debates. If one of us has somebody at 25 and you've got him at 9, then we got to argue about it. Not argue, but
it's semantical too about if he has a good season, that would be really important for this team kind of thing.
So it's always fun. We have fun with it. It never gets too heated. But I thought this would be the year.
Except that year he left Dylan Gibbons out.
That's fun. He thought it was a crime the kid transferred here. But what I would tell you is that I thought this was a year where there was a legitimate chance somebody was going to have somebody in their top 5 and somebody else might not have them in their top 35. Right. Like that, because this is very different than
I will
years
say
past.
this. I got to like 14 or 15 and I'm like, oh yeah, Azaria Thomas.
Yeah, right.
And I had to go scoot everybody down.
Oh, it screwed me up and I had to redo my list because I remembered 4 guys at the end of the 40 and I'm like, oh, well, he's like 17th. What's wrong with you? And then I had to move everybody down and piss me off. And I found out like 3 or 4 guys like that I had to do that with.
Yeah, there's some good football players. I mean, and I'll tell you this, in my top 7, this makes me feel good about the defense. I think I have 6 defensive guys in my top 7.
Yeah, I think I was like that too.
Which is not what I expected going in. And I've had some, if you ask me about this team, I'd say I don't know. I think the talent might be better on this defense, but I don't know if they're going to play as well. That's
I think I was 8 of 10 or 7 of 10, 7 of the first 10 or 8 of the first 10.
That will be a through line. I think almost all of us from a cursory glance seem to have had way more defensive people in their top 15. Than we ever have at any point in the last few years. Like I think 9 of 15 for me.
Well, a lot of it too is that there wasn't, other than Malik, there's not like a surefire offensive skill player that you're like, okay, he's one of the 8 most important players on the. I mean, DJ,
obviously.
But besides him, like Toafili's in there somewhere.
Benson.
Roy Dell's in there somewhere.
I think the voting is kind of a little bit over the map on Benson, not necessarily outside the top 10 or 15, but just in there, where people
somebody might have them 2, somebody might have them 11.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I haven't looked at anybody else's ballots, but was I the only one that had Portier number 1?
No, I think Aslan did.
Aslan had him number 1.
You can really tell. Yeah. You can tell they compared
that
notes.
Drive.
Yeah. And we all thought it was odd that when you submitted it, you did his name in all caps compared to everybody else.
Well, look, man, it's crazy that the Tallahassee Quarterback Club, is that who gives away the Bolitnikoff Award? I know it's Tallahassee that does it.
They have their own committee.
It's the committee, but it's stationed. It's based in Tallahassee.
Right. Yes.
Has never given it to a Florida State player. Well, this year that changes.
Well, Peter Warwick probably should have been the one.
Gave it to Troy Walters from Stanford that year.
Screw Troy Walters.
But Kentron Portier is going to make up for all the past failures.
And to think, I think I have him at 37. So that'll be amazing.
So you're going to have a lot of egg on your face.
I will say this, that over there in Amelia Island, talking to Mike Norvell, it sounds like Kentron might have been dealing with something this spring physically, which he's never talked about.
Here it comes, Corey.
So maybe
I just hope he's not dealing with it in August.
Yeah, he's walking it back.
Maybe a little bit.
Setting up.
If there is some information I wasn't privy to in the spring, maybe this fall he'll come. We'll see.
He'll look better than we saw.
I'm still not.
Or he's out for the rest of his career. Is that an option too?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, good. Then he's going to look better. He's going to look better than what we saw in August because it's in there, gang. It's in there.
Hey, it's like that he's laying the groundwork.
I'm just saying.
You monitor this. You monitor this in the coming weeks. You're going to hear,
It's not walking it back. It's just the information changes
beginning
the
of
context
fall,
a little bit. Picture becomes a little clearer as you get closer to Dublin.
That's true.
You know how it is?
The beginning of fall.
Jonathan Swift was born in Dublin, by the way.
Yeah,
in 1680 or something.
A Dubliner, indeed. Yeah.
I was wondering.
I will tell you that the beginning of the fall, or like let's say August, when it's God-forsaken hot, we're going to be in here doing headlines. You just watch for this Colonel, and he's going to be like, I talked to somebody else the other day that feels like Portier has had the best offseason they've ever seen now that he's healthy. I think he's going to be really, really.
I hope it happens. I'm with him. I'm with him on it. By the way, I was thinking about that. So that first game, and usually the first game you play in college football, especially Florida State, it's 1,000,000 degrees. It's 110 degrees. You have to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Dublin, it's going to be 62,
69, 68, somewhere in there.
And then their next game will be a home game, but it'll be a night game.
So you're talking
about
80,
mid 80s, not 100.
but very humid, Corey.
But you wonder, does that change how you practice?
Just don't even condition Josh Storms.
I'm just saying it.
Just don't even worry about
What
it.
do you do? I wonder if that changes things.
I don't know if it changed anything, but it's fair to say it's not going to be a big concern.
I guess they don't practice a ton in the afternoon anyway, but I just feel like, especially before school starts, which will be most of those practices, I bet they do practice more in the morning than normal because you don't need to. You don't need to embrace the heat in 110 degree heat because you're not
yourself to deal with 100 for your first 3 games.
You're not going to see
that. Yeah,
I'll never. I just flashed in my mind probably because it's this time of year. But that year that they played Indiana in the regionals, and I wrote a story about how Indiana, man, they're going to struggle with this heat down here.
Yeah, Schwarber hits
like
tent.
6 bombs.
And he knocked the tent down.
Well, and the problem was their outfield. They had these big dudes, looked like softball players in the outfield, like adult men's softball.
That whole
players.
team was filled with
Just
big dudes. Yeah,
and then before State never put the ball in play, so it didn't matter.
Yeah,
like they never put any pressure on them defensively. They just.
I was thinking about this. This happened last weekend, and I've actually been waiting like 8 or 9 days to bring this up. I completely forgot. You guys know that I'm a big sauna guy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we've recently discovered.
Right. Sorry, Ira. But so I was in the sauna. Big, huge dude walks in. I'm by myself. This is up in Atlanta in the gym I go to. There's a sauna etiquette that you're just supposed to sit there, listen to your music, right?
Yeah, you don't
bother people. You don't chit chat.
No.
Well, I start hearing him talk. I've got my music up pretty loud. He starts to talk, and I look over, and he's on a phone call with the speakerphone on.
Oh no!
And I'm like, well, that's kind of rude.
Was he over the age of 60?
He's probably 45.
Wow!
So
that's especially shocking.
Probably 6'3". I'm gonna guess 250.
So you really can't even
don't
get
say
mouthy.
anything. No, I can't. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's an emergency. I get it. He had to take a call in the sauna.
An emergency doesn't need to be on speakerphone.
Did he have a good body though? Did you like?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Did you flex off?
Look, he needed to be in the sauna though. He needed to cut a little.
Did you flex off?
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It's right
to
up
this
your
guy.
alley. Yeah.
But so he has the conversation. I'm like, okay, maybe it's an emergency. He stands up right in front of me, puts the phone by the door. So he's standing up. The phone is on the ground. So now he's 6.5 feet away from the phone.
I don't know how hygienic that is to put your phone on the ground floor of a sauna.
And then he's like, so what else is going on, man? And I'm like, wait, are we just having a conversation with your butt right in my face in front of the sauna?
Hey.
In the sauna with the phone, putting the phone down on the ground.
He had a towel on.
So he did. No, he was in shorts.
Okay.
So it's not allowed to go in there nude, by the way.
I'm getting
That's
worried about what kind of
That's
gym.
sauna etiquette.
What kind of
That's
gym
not
is
a gym you want to join.
What's even the point?
I know. Good point.
Yeah.
So anyway, that goes on for another minute. He's done. He goes and sits back down in the corner, leaves his phone at the door.
You should have kicked it.
And then starts watching a YouTube video on full volume. So I happen to be listening to the Wallflowers. And I'm like, I can't confront this guy and say, hey, man, what are you doing? So I just start singing along to the Wallflowers.
At the top of your lungs?
Not at the top, because that would have been noticeable.
One headlight?
It wasn't. It was The Only Difference.
Yeah.
That song. So, or maybe that is One Headlight. You're exactly the same as you used to be.
Yeah, it's a great album.
So I'm singing it at that volume that I just sang. I'm not belting it out, but I'm singing it enough.
You should have belted it.
But I didn't want to I didn't want to confront him because he was much bigger
What if he
than
started
me.
singing along?
So anyway, 20 seconds later, he stands up, gives me the side eye, and walks out. Like he's mad at me for having the audacity to sing the Wallflowers.
Buddy.
But I thought that was a pretty good tact on my part to make it where I'm not singing absurdly loud.
Yeah.
But I'm singing loud enough.
But you were letting it be known.
Yes, that I'm singing along to my song.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you go to saunas a lot, like what do you think the chances are you're going to run into more weird people?
It's
Pretty
exponential.
high.
It
Pretty
multiplies.
high.
If you're in there with a sauna, it's like you get on a bus and there's no weirdos, then you're the weirdo. Yes.
I think you're going to have more of these stories.
I'm just glad this isn't the 80s because there would have been dong everywhere in that sauna. For
There might
whatever
have
reason,
been.
old
There might
men
have
just
been.
used to walk around in the sauna. I've never gone back to a sauna for that reason. I walked into one time to see what it was like. I was like, what is this?
See, and I didn't
what are we
grow up
doing here? This is not okay.
I didn't grow up in the football culture that Jeff did, where they shower with other guys and they're just used to seeing them nude.
So you're making up for lost time.
No, not that. Not that. I'm saying the locker room scenes at these places, I thought there would be more covering up. But still, in the locker room, these old men will still just strip down to nothing.
No, it's the most bizarre thing in the world. I don't understand it.
Sit there. Like not.
And then just
not
have a
rush
conversation.
up. Yeah.
Good to see you, Frank. How are you? Well, I'd be better if I wasn't staring at your penis.
Your old penis.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Can we just have a conversation?
There's a good way to avoid that.
Not
Just
going
don't go to
into
gyms.
That's just avoid.
I found
That's
that
true.
helps.
That's true. You haven't seen unwanted penis in a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think we all try to avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, I
frankly.
gotta. Yeah,
But
gotta
Doc
wear.
Corey, he's
No.
racing into saunas.
So
There's
just
always
listen
a chance.
to the wallflowers.
But don't miss the sausage party on May 30th
Yeah,
at the
that's
Hub.
right, guys.
That's
A
our-
week from this
I got more
Thursday.
stories just like that for all you fine folks.
There's no right turn with 2 minutes to go.
Sorry,
There's no
I started
right,
thinking
this is what Corey does.
I know.
Sabotages.
The sauna, because I was going to compare the Tallahassee Heat to a sauna, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got
man.
that sauna story.
You know, that is the one downside of reminiscing about regionals is that every one of them feature a story of somebody dying in the stands from heat overexposure or coming damn close.
By the way, I took out
And a lot of weather delays.
Oh yeah,
You did not take that out.
I did.
Ira,
I did.
I said I was talking about I was
Did
writing
you try
about
to write about the sauna as well?
No.
Oh God, I was like, what are we
That's
doing?
ridiculous. I was writing about how cool it will be for Dick Hauser Stadium to host a regional
And
again.
then out of the blue, for
Right.
no apparent
As he
reason,
loves to do.
I said, and it will be really cool for the hardest working lightning detector in the world to get more work.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
so
Well,
my-
now you're just
But it was funny. And I,
belaboring the point.
my
Right?
point was, I think we just had a tornado here like a week or two ago. We've had
but they didn't.
people
Corey,
lost
the
their
problem you're going to
homes.
have
I
is,
just
and I'm with you, but when the person is struck by lightning
Yeah,
and
man.
dies in Hauser, and you've got that in the piece,
that's not going to happen.
buddy,
It's not going to happen.
buddy, don't do
They
it.
can't.
I'm looking out for you, just
it's
like
not going
he
to happen.
is.
trying.
It's not going to
Because
happen.
what I'm telling you is
calling
that
it.
as
So, yeah,
soon as
I took that out of your
That's
column.
ridiculous, Ira. I didn't even want to. That's the only reason I wrote the column was for that
to
line.
take that shot.
Golly.
I didn't get to this. I think there was a question that I didn't get to that somebody contributed that we can get to here. Jeff, please forgive me. Dave, I'm not mad. Number 2, where is Travis J on your all's top 40 list?
Yeah,
buddy.
He's the all-time top 40 appearremember for
a player who didn't deserve to be in the top 40.
I think one time he might have been in the top 20.
I think he was in the top 10.
Yeah.
Well, remember there was that one interception, and we were all like, look at that.
Yeah.
And we thought, there's going to be a lot more of
Well,
that.
they
came
didn't
from.
have a lot of really talented football players.
No.
He did
And
have
he's a
some
freak
talent.
athlete.
Yeah, but it just didn't quite materialize here.
Yeah, things
Are
have,
there.
things have changed a little bit.
I feel like Travis J is one of the few players that over the years, I thought, you know what? We'll never see him do anything in college. And one day we're going to be watching a game. We're like, Travis J plays for the Eagles?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're going to be, how is
It's
this
his
possible?
sixth year in the league.
Like, that's happened
Yeah,
before
oh, yeah,
where you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what in the
yeah.
world? That dude made the league.
Yeah.
And you get frustrated because you're like, oh, they tried for 4 years and they
Mr.
could never get anything
Alexander.
out of him.
Mr. Alexander played in the league
Well,
for
he did.
3 or 4
yeah,
years.
for a while. All right, so we did it. We made it. Your questions forthcoming. Stay with Headline Questions, Seminole Headlines 93.3, Real Talk Radio, and Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Hey folks, it's me, Mac and More, spokesperson for Tallahassee's favorite Apple and Mac product store, Mac and More. We all know what Mac is all about. It's your MacBooks, iMacs, Apple Watch, iPhones, iPads, we've all got them. But what's really cool is the and more. And there's a lot more at Mac and More. They can help set up your new gear, migrate and back up your data, teach you new tricks and how to use everything better. And if something costs too much to fix, they'll tell you the truth. There's a lot more at Mac and More. See for yourself at macandmoresystems.com. Or you can take it from me, Mr. Mac and More.
This is Shannon Young with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Investors, are you looking for a creative way to purchase your next rental property? Are you looking to get into the Airbnb space? If so, you need to know about DSCR loans. It stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. These are loans that do not require traditional income verification. As long as the proposed rent covers the mortgage payment on the subject property, that's the only income you need. If you're looking at investing and don't know if you can qualify, let's set up a plan to get your next income producing property and start putting you on a path to passive income. Give me a call at 954-369-6171. And don't forget, every fellow Nole that we close a loan for, I will personally make a donation of $250 to the Battle's End. It's Shannon Young at 954-369-6171.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373030.
Dude, that's quality radio right there. Tell us how you really feel.
Sorry, man. I'm just so tired.
And why do we think we're tired?
Oh, I haven't made the grassroots coffee yet.
Yep, grassroots coffee tastes even better than it smells.
Roasted to perfection.
And so many blends and single origin coffees. You can have a different tasting coffee every day of the week.
You can order directly from grassrootscoffee.com.
And with a Grassroots Coffee subscription, you'll never run out of your favorite brew.
Locally owned, locally roasted for everyone and loved everywhere.
That's Grassroots Coffee.
Hey, Greg, did you know that some cars are more prone to auto glass damage than others?
I did not know that.
Yeah, a Jeep windshield is flat, making it very prone to damage. Nissan Rogues are popular. Toyotas, Subarus are always in my shop because they get damaged frequently and they require recalibration.
So you guys see a lot of SUVs.
Yeah, I guess the angle of the glass has a lot to do with it.
But it's not like you can avoid a rock no matter what you're driving.
Exactly. So just go to SeminoleAutoglass.com and let us take care of everything for you.
So how often do you see a DeLorean?
From time to time. Better call Seminole.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee. The latest betting odds and live movements from Vegas. This is your action update. Now here are your latest lines from our guys in the desert.
The lineup Braves today, $1.35 favorite with Charlie Morton on the mound against Javier Asada of the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Cubs plus 114. Zach Littell on the hill for the Rays today, $1.30 favorite against Boston plus 110. 8 under at Tropicana Field. Florida Gators open up the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, Alabama today, plus 110 of the money line against Vanderbilt, minus 140. Florida State, $1.60 favorite against Georgia Tech for the ACC baseball tournament in Charlotte. Yellow Jackets plus 124 on the money line. The Jacksonville Dolphins, $1.60 favorite against Eastern Kentucky in the Atlantic Sun baseball tournament. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
This is sponsored by Burger King. Burger King is turning 70 on June 1st and wants to celebrate with you. In honor of this milestone birthday, have it your way with sweet deals for members of the free Burger King loyalty program, Royal Perks. Members will have access to 7 days of daily exclusive digital offers like a free hamburger and free original chicken sandwich with purchases of 70 cents or more, beginning on May 28th and running through June 3rd. Among the digital deals, Royal Perks members can enjoy a medium, ice-cold Coca-Cola soft drink for free with a purchase of 70 cents or more on Thursday, May 30th. Royal Perks members can also celebrate with a $6 birthday meal featuring a flame-grilled Whopper Jr., small fries, small soft drink, and the all-new birthday pie slice for just $6. To learn more about all of the BK birthday offers and to get in on the party, including playing an exclusive game on the BK app, download the Burger King app and sign up for Royal Perks today. Price and participation vary. U.S. only. Terms apply. See bk.com/terms.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need from chemicals, cleaners, vacuums, nets, and more. But that's not all. Pinch a Penny also carries a huge selection of premium hot springs hot tubs paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have an older hot tub and you're worried about the hassle of removing it, worry no more. Pinch a Penny will not only remove and haul away your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
What will the Noles do to follow up an unconquered 2023? Warchant.com, the market leader in FSU football and sports coverage, is the place to find out. Join the largest FSU fan community and talk Seminole sports in Warchant's Travel Council and premium recruiting message board forums. Enjoy special access to multimedia elements like Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, and Seminole Headlines, plus exclusive forums with FSU student athletes and a members-only discount to Garnet and Gold. Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source. Head to Warchant.com and sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines, featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines 93.3. Real Talk Radio Warchant TV begins now with headliner questions forthcoming. There's Corey. There's Ira. I'm Jeff. You guys are you. We appreciate you joining us. Whether you're listening on 93.3, driving about town, be safe, or watching on Warchant TV, however it is that you take in Seminole Headlines, much love. And much love to Dr. Birch and Birch Orthodontics, best in the business, just like Seminole Headlines.
When's the last time are you going to be going there soon?
I hope not.
Summer?
I hope not. Yeah.
I
love her to
message.
I love her
the
to
message
death.
we share with the people is that even if you don't have a kid with braces, you want to just go hang out.
Just hang out. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably not advisable, but they do a great work. And if you have anybody in your family who needs braces or Invisalign, any orthodontic work, you don't have to be kids. Like I said, she's not an ageist.
No.
If you can be 80.
Get those teeth fixed.
Get them.
Yeah.
Late stages of life.
You only got one life to live.
I don't know if she does false teeth.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do people still do false teeth? Like my parents had false teeth.
Don't you have false teeth?
What was happening?
Corey, you
but
have
I don't put them in
fake-ass
I don't
teeth.
put them in a water cup
They
at
stay
night.
in.
They're in there permanently.
What was the deal? Like, what? I guess they didn't put fluoride in water back then. Like, what was the deal with people in that generation that all had false teeth?
What was the deal with that generation period?
It was tough. It was tough. Ask George
Some people
Washington
call
about
it
his
the
teeth.
greatest
Those are tough.
generation.
I don't know, man.
It's tough.
Not the greatest teeth generation. But Dr. Birch is changing all that for our generation and the generation behind us. Go to birchorthodontics.com is the website. Go get a consultation. I'm telling you, even if you've got a difficult case, you will talk to other orthodontists. I'm telling you this because I can speak from experience. You'll talk to another orthodontist who will tell you that this is what they need to do or that's what they need to do or it might need surgery, all those types of things. Dr. Birch and her staff are the best you'll ever deal with, and they know FSU football. They're great people.
Consultation is what they do, buddy. Right. I go in there and I ask them things about whether or not I should get a new car. Should I take out a new IRA? What
I got a tax issue that I need help with.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
Sauna etiquette.
Sauna
etiquette's a great thing to consult them about.
Birch Orthodontics has got you. At some point, they'll hit everything that you need in that very moment. Let's go to the first.
Hopefully, we get someone from the office out to the sausage party. They can hang out at all. A little cross promotion.
Good times. David on Facebook.
There we go.
Starting with Facebook, huh?
I thought I'd shake it up a little bit. There's only 9 questions.
Well, hey.
I got
Zuckerberg struggling over there. Old Zuck struggling a little bit.
All right. David writes, I know you all have talked before about the great teams that didn't win a national title, but I remember something Steve Spurrier said after the 99 game in the Swamp, and that was that he thought the 97 FSU team was better. Well, he's wrong, David. I'll answer that question because the difference was quarterback. Winky in 99, Busby in 97. We're done talking. Agreed?
Yeah.
You agree. You agree.
I agree that Peter Warwick was different in 99 than he was in 97.
Warwick was on the 97 team, but I'm saying like the quarterback was the difference.
Yeah.
So I don't even need to keep answering this question. That's we just answered. The rest of it was Spurrier just being an ass and bragging, or do we think
because
that's accurate?
they beat that 97
Yes,
team.
I was there in
32-29.
I'll never forget it. It was there were some coaching blunders at the end of that game.
That was not. It was a really good team though, man. But it was
a loaded team. They should have won the national title.
It was not. I think the 97 defense might have been better.
I would get with
99
that.
offense.
By the way, so correct me if I'm wrong on this because I might be. That was Wadsworth was on that team. Spires was on that team. That team was loaded. That was man. I love that team.
If the portal had existed in the 90s, like would they have just been getting rated every year?
Oh yeah.
Like what would it? Like,
yeah, they were loaded.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that they would have done rating of their own too.
Right.
Like, imagine getting to like, hey, Randy, you want to come back to Florida State now the portal's open? Like, they could have gone and handpicked player like good rising juniors from any college in the country.
Feaster was on that team in 97.
Well, and the 97 team's a good example because they had a lot of holes at running back. Like D. Feaster, I think, got hurt.
Yeah.
Rock Preston was supposed to be there, but
by the
left.
way, Lavernius Coles was on that team in '97 too.
Well, he was there in '99 for half of it.
Yeah, for half of it.
And then so they would have gone and gotten like whoever the best running back in the country was, because Travis Minor was good, but he was a freshman. You didn't know how he was going to be, and that was one of the
E.G. Green was on that team, Corey.
Yeah, he was their best. He was their best receiver.
Something like 60 receptions.
Yeah,
yeah.
Him and they did give up 5 touchdowns to Torrey Holt that year. The '97 team did.
So the funny part about that,
they beat NC State like 41-35, and Torrey Holt had all 5 touchdowns.
I was at an old wing establishment on Pensacola Street watching that game in shock as he kept getting behind the defense.
You weren't at the game?
No, I wasn't in media yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't travel for that.
No,
game.
it was home. It was a home game.
No, is that the one?
No, '98 they went up there and lost.
He threw 6 picks.
Yes, '97.
That's the game I'm thinking about.
Busby beat him.
Yeah,
E.J. Green had a huge day.
Yeah. Okay. I was at that game. The '98 game was the one I wasn't at, and I was watching. And I was in media because I interviewed Chris Winkie on that Monday and accidentally hung up on him. And he was a great. I mean, you want to talk about a great sport? I had my producer Dina Davis call him right back. And he came on. He said, "I know I threw 6 picks, but you don't have to hang up on me."
Yeah,
which
that's funny.
Which is really, really cool.
Torrey Holt turned out to be pretty good.
He worked out. Yeah, he was a good player.
Borderline Hall of Famer.
Florida State would have just taken him.
Yeah, exactly right. If he'd have done that to you in '97, you're like, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
You're going to play here next week.
Yeah, to answer your question, by the way, on Facebook there, no, '99 team was better.
I would also like to get this on the record. I had no problems at all. When was it? Friday night when they called the game in the 6th inning. There was real stuff going on, and I had to walk through it, and it was scary. Like, I had to walk back to my car, and it was lightning every other second.
Right?
It was nuts. There are almost always legitimate times to get them off the field. Every twice a season, it's partly cloudy, and we're sitting here going, what are we doing? The kids are playing hacky sack on the field.
Garrett writes, did Dilly get too much credit for Jordan Travis's transformation? Tony Tokars has been on the staff since we hired Norvell. If Tony played more of a role in quarterback development, gives me hope that DJU can be a top 20 quarterback in the nation. I'll start, and then you guys weigh in. I'm very partial. First of all, I had no problem with Dilly, but I'm very partial to Tony Tokars. For whatever reason, we've gotten along from the first day I ever interviewed him. I think he's incredibly insightful. And Jordan Travis did tell me that he gave Tony Tokars a ton of credit for helping him further his career and get better from year to year. So I don't know how you guys think, but Tony Tokars is a very good quarterback coach.
Yeah, and actually Luke Kromenhoek, I think, gives Tony Tokars a lot of the credit for why he wanted to come to Florida State.
Yeah.
And he's a really good coach. There's no question. And if you go back to his history, he's a young guy, so you may not know his full history, but he was on, their staff at Memphis, left because he wanted to get on the field, went to, I think, like a Division II school, and then came back. And Norvell definitely treats him, as a quarterbacks coach. I mean, again, like when Jimbo was here, he had a lot of different quarterbacks coaches that weren't really the quarterbacks.
No, because Jimbo was the quarterback coach. Yeah.
Mike Norvell lets Tony Tokars coach those guys. And he did a really good job with Jordan, but Norvell is a big part of it too. Atkins is a big part of it too. They have a good mix. And the question is going to be, how long can you keep those guys together?
Yeah, well, that was part of why Mike wanted more money, not just for himself, but his staff, right? The ability to be able to try to keep people around. Tony took less money to stay at one point because he recognized he was upwardly mobile here.
Smart.
And because he was given
and I think
autonomy.
I think he could have gone with Dilly to Arizona State if he wanted to.
What a mistake that'd be.
Smart to stay here.
By the way, Dilly will be out of a job in 2 years. So this is I mean, that Arizona State program is ass. R. Wilmer writes, yay, sausage. I've got to get registers in our Kroger or Food Line. Love this show, guys.
Food Line. When was the last time you were in a Food Line?
It's been a minute.
This I should tell a Food Line story, but I'm not going to. It was in Gainesville, Ira. This Food Line story. Someday I'll bring it to the table, but I feel like I'll be judged. Question, do you see in the future of college football a super league forming with conference affiliations? If so, 64 to 48 team leagues. Well, we were just talking about this yesterday, like 48 teams, we think probably, right?
64 seems high.
64 seems like a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
There's
no way. That's
that
half the country. Yeah, no.
Big Ten
and if you want to be close to the NFL, get closer to that number.
Big Ten has what, 20 or 18 teams?
18,
18,
probably. And then the SEC has 16.
Yeah, so there's 34 right there.
You got to drop a few of those.
You're dropping Vanderbilt.
You think?
Northwestern, Purdue. Always with Purdue. I just got
I've got a soft spot for Purdue. I don't know that we're just out here dropping Purdue willy-nilly.
Neil Armstrong went to Purdue.
Really?
Yeah. How about that?
Drew Brees.
Big sauna guy.
Glenn Robinson. Neil Armstrong loved the
Big
sauna guy.
Oh, you
Big
know
sauna
he did
guy,
too. Butt ass naked on a daily
But I don't think he
basis.
talked. He seems like kind of a
he wasn't
quiet
watching
guy. He's
YouTube
very
in there.
stoic.
And he knew nobody could say anything to him.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to say to him?
Yeah.
Like, can you put some clothes on? Hey, you
know who you're talking
who
to?
you're talking to here?
I didn't have any clothes on when I was on the moon.
How many men have gotten a backhand from Neil Armstrong and just took it and just wore it?
Took it. Like, oh man, it's like that scene in Tombstone where he slaps your boy across
Billy
the
Bob
face.
Thornton, yeah.
It's the most humiliating
Yeah.
scene ever. He just slaps him, and you're like, oh, it's uncomfortable to see a man get slapped like that. And then he does it again.
Yeah. And then he says something dumb though, like, "Go ahead and skin that smoke wagon." What? Who wrote that?
It's a good movie.
That sounds sexual. That is.
Go ahead and skin that smoke wagon.
What are we doing here? That doesn't sound. Good day, Jen. Thanks for all you do, Panama Noel. No question today, but I did hear Jeff and Ira yesterday talking about how y'all are all over the place in the top 40. My request is that you still have an honorable mention list of, say, 5 to 10 guys just to see who would have
we
been
definitely
in.
need to do
We
that.
have to do that,
We
right?
haven't always do it. It's a fair point. We haven't always done it, but we'll definitely do it this time because there's a bunch of guys.
Others receiving votes.
Yes, others receiving votes. Yeah.
You need to put Gene on it. Put him to work.
Yeah.
Come on, Gene. Let's go with the honorable mentions. Get to typing, buddy. Brian writes, I jumped on the baseball bandwagon early in the season. The pitch clock, along with a fun team to watch, has helped me enjoy watching baseball for the first time. My question is, how do baseball fans balance family life with watching games? Football's easy, one game a week.
Yeah.
I
Good point.
watch Pirates every night. You watch the Orioles every night.
And
it is
Tim's
tough.
Tim's having a tough time with
You're
it.
living that life
'Cause-
I lived when Brady went. Well, your kids are
You know what Corey
grown.
did? He got a divorce.
Yeah. I was like, I get all the Braves I can watch half
I'm
the time.
watching them with one of them. Alexa watches with me, but we just disappear for 3 hours every night.
That's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be. I don't know what you want from me.
You still do it? Like you watch,
I watch Pirates every
religiously?
Yeah.
Even though they're
Sorry-ass
not,
Pirates?
even like in August. Let's
Pirates
say
just won 3 out of 4 and now have a rotation that's about to be very good.
My question. In
How many runs they
August,
scoring? How many runs they scoring?
Hey, buddy, who won the series between the Pirates and the Orioles?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
All right, here we go.
Smoke and mirrors.
in
Bunch
August
of
you'll
crap.
watch though, like even though they're, let's say 14 games out and they're not
Yeah.
playing for the playoffs, will you still watch?
If they call up some young guys that are part of the future, sure.
Okay.
Like if they're going to call up, like we
Part
have
of the Yankees' future.
Skeens is pitching. I'll be watching.
Well, of course.
And
And
the other
he's
dude.
looked awesome. And Jared Jones looks awesome. They've actually got a little rotation now that I do enjoy watching.
It is a time suck, though, man. It is.
It's
Baseball is a
crazy.
time suck.
Well, I say that because when the Braves were terrible for those 2 years when they were rebuilding before Acuna got there, I watched, I don't know, 10% of their games.
A lot more free
20%.
time.
Yeah, I mean, it's because they weren't even trying to win.
Yeah.
They went 70 and 90 or 65 and 95 or whatever it was. And I was like,
I've had plenty of
Pirates.
Pirate seasons that kind of began to dissolve into nothingness where I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not even going to call the young kids up. All right, I'm done. I've seen this group. Yeah, that does happen. But my wife likes baseball, so I'm very fortunate. Like of all the sports, if I say to her, what if every sport was on, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, all of it, like this time of year where it can happen, she'd say put on the baseball game. She'd be fine with it as long as there's not some show she wants to watch.
And
right?
college baseball works better because it's not every night. Like number one, it's might be a Tuesday night, but you don't have to watch a Tuesday night midweek game. And then also the weekends, at least at Florida State, you'll get a Friday night game and then a couple afternoon games. So your Saturday nights are still free. And your Sundays are still free.
Speaking, somebody brought up your golf proposition bets in the chat.
Yeah.
So did Scheffler come off the board? Like, what did they do during that?
I had DeChambeau, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah.
They had to have done something with the betting when he's in jail, right? Like,
Well, I think you could get longer odds, which
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of people
say, did the
jumped on
numbers
immediately.
change?
Yeah, they did. But I mean, immediately, but they didn't waver that much. That's how good he is. People were like, he's
he
probably
come
still
out
going to win the
and-
tournament. Yeah, it didn't waver as much as you thought. I was hoping to get him at like plus 750. As soon as I saw he went to jail,
Jeff's first thought was,
what's this do to the line?
buddy, I was going to rob him blind. I'm like, you watch. They think he's normal. He's not normal. He's a golf savant. I'm betting him. If I get him at plus 750, we're doing it. But it's pretty much stayed at plus 450. So.
Yeah.
That was a great tournament. Turned out to be
It
a great
was.
tournament.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun
to
to
watch right there at the end. I didn't feel great rooting for Bryson. Not the
No.
biggest
Well, you shouldn't.
Bryson
You
fan.
can't. No, you shouldn't.
But man, when my
Bryson's family
man was sinking a lot of 8-foot putts on the back nine, I'm like, let's go.
Oh, it was
And
beautiful
then
to
he
watch
had the
Schauffele
lead
beat him.
and Schauffele beat him.
Yeah, it was glorious. Keep Liv out of there. And RA writes, gentlemen, have a safe and registers filled Memorial Day weekend. Is it true the Louisville police officer had just transferred from Florida and still had Corey's tag in his back seat?
That's perfect timing there.
Oh, well played.
That's, I'm still, again, again, shout out to the woman that worked at the clerk of court. She was awesome and got it all squared away.
This is a good question, and it's because of something you said last night. So Corey, let's let Ira defend himself. Is not the right way to say this, but I want you to go ahead and expound and make. Okay. I thought it was an interesting one, and it was at the tail end of the show, and I was like, oh man, we could keep talking, but I won't because it's 8. And
we're gonna go watch the Orioles.
Yeah, I gotta go watch the Pirates
Cardinals
play. Tony writes, continuing off Smash from last night, Ira believes that Luke will be quarterback number 1. What say you, Jeff and Corey? Also, who are the wide receivers and running backs that Luke will be throwing to? So last night,
I assume 2025.
Right. Yeah. He didn't mean this year. That'd be something.
Yeah.
That would have been calling your shot.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, I got Luke as the number 1 in our top 40.
DJ's transferring back to Oregon State.
So, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Well, I mean, look, man, I just think, and I like Brock Glenn, I just think to me, when you look at Luke Krummenhoek, the 2 or 3
physical
weeks
tools
we got to see him, to get there at that point, I mean, I was just real impressed, man. I like everything about him. I like Brock, again, the intangibles too, but the physical talent I like more with Luke. And I think if he looked that good in just a few weeks, man, a year from now, I just think he's going to be just a different kind of cat. I think they may have, and there's a reason he became a 5-star, and out at the Elite 11, he kind of outshined a lot of those other big-time guys. You can be a second-year quarterback and be a stud, and I think Luke may
let me ask you a question, and we can both weigh in on this then. Do you feel like, so you say you like Brock. I like Brock.
I
he
like
likes
Brock.
We all
I
like
don't
Brock.
like Brock is like, this is who you're building your program around.
You don't think he's a can't miss, right? All right. Do you feel better about Brock at this stage of his career than you do, say, when at the same time about A.J. Duffy?
Oh, 100%.
So Brock's a lot better than A.J. Duffy
and
was.
Chubba Purdy.
Geez.
But my point is,
yeah.
It's been a while. Brock has been better than, to me.
Yeah, Brock's been pretty good.
Right. He's been better than any of the backup quarterbacks here in a long time.
Correct.
But
I wanted to establish that. That's why I asked you.
I think Luke could be a
special player.
I mean, a special.
You agree with him?
I do. I don't know that I'd say but I mean, it's just, you're speculating, and we're all speculating. That's the question.
That's what we do.
I think that, I think it's going to be really fun to watch. I think it's going to be a fascinating battle because Brock Glenn believes in himself. I'll never get over him checking to a pass when they're trying to ice a perfect regular season, and he's just in there to hand the ball off at the Swamp in a 1-score game. I mean, that is a next level of confidence that I think you want to rein in a little, but you're born with stuff like that, and that's a gift. So I hope
he's got all that, man. There's no doubt. He's got moxie. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
He played defense.
His 2 games where he was in the spotlight, scored 3 points and got beat by 60. I know, let me finish the thought. And then Louisville, they scored a touchdown because of Toafili. How much does that affect that confidence when those 2 games where you're at center stage, your offense does Zach zilch?
I don't think so. I don't think it would. I understand your point, but knowing that kid, I don't think it would.
I don't think so either.
But
it's wrecked other kids, things like that. So that's what you have to worry about. But yeah, I think he's built a little differently.
I think he's unreasonably confident.
Yes.
So
irrationally.
I don't think it'll have any effect on him.
But anyway, we'll see. I just think that if I was putting chips on it right now, I'd go with Luke.
I like it. It's fun. More questions coming your way. Hang in. Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
I'm Greg Tisch here to share one of my favorite TCC stories. In the summer of 1966, Eugene Lamb wanted to stay in shape before leaving to play college basketball in Louisiana. So he jogged to Tallahassee from his home in Midway and helped lay the bricks for the first building on what's now the TCC campus on Appleyard Drive. Today, he is a longtime member of the TCC District Board of Trustees. It's no exaggeration when we say Trustee Lamb helped build TCC into what it is today.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the Battle's End. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Honey, I'm home.
We're in here, honey.
So why are all my friends here?
Have a seat, Dave. We need to talk about your problem.
Problem? I don't have a problem.
Dave, you do have a problem. A problem with your grill. Here's some pamphlets from Hearth and Patio. They are waiting for your call to help you upgrade your grill.
If you or someone you know needs a grilling intervention, call Hearth and Patio today at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282 or hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
Ready for a breath of fresh air this tax season? Well, breathe easy with E&B Heating and Air. Don't miss out on federal tax incentives for new AC systems and heat pumps. Take advantage of up to $2,000 in tax credits, plus additional savings from city and manufacturer rebates. E&B Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving Tallahassee and surrounding areas since 1974. Call us today for your free estimate at 850-575-9119 or visit us online at enbheatandair.com. That's enbheatandair.com.
It's National Care Stand Month at Brian Barnard's Flooring America. Care Stand rugs and carpet are made to last for generations. At Flooring America, discover Care Stand's newest carpet styles and colors, including their new hardwood and waterproof flooring. Feel the natural durability of New Zealand wool and the stain resistance of cashmere nylon. Hi, it's Chris Barnard. We are proud to be the area's largest Care Stand dealer for over 45 years. Come see us during National Care Stand Month and see why Brian Barnard's Flooring America is where friends send friends.
Have you been injured on I-10? I'm Dana Brooks of Fasig Brooks Law Offices. We've partnered with Roadproof to access all interstate traffic camera footage along I-10 from Pensacola to Jacksonville. Memories fade and witnesses disappear. Securing important video footage now can make sure your claim receives the full attention it deserves. Call us today and let us secure the proof you need to come back stronger. Fasig Brooks, 850-777-7777. Offices Destin, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
More likely that we go undefeated or Sunbelt Billy is coaching against FSU at the end of the year.
I think it's more that he is coaching.
He is coaching, yeah.
I think it's more likely that FSU goes undefeated. I don't think he'll be there.
Especially with the stuff with today and him being sued by the quarterback. Rashada.
That's a weird story, though.
It is.
But if you said that he's going to, I mean, they've taken him to court, so I feel like Napier probably did. They guaranteed that kid something and never.
I wonder if he did.
Well, the allegation is that he did. That he told him, if you sign, you'll get $1 million that day, and then the other $12 million is.
Doesn't seem Florida to have their buttoned up collective at the time that this went down. It seems like it was a little wayward.
Also, don't know that I want. Weirdly, he might be completely in the right, 100% in the right. If I'm Kirby Smart, I don't know that I'm like, okay, my backup quarterback is national news suing the school because they didn't pay him $13.5 million. That's kind of the guy I want to bring into my program. I don't know. It's his third program.
Marlon writes, hello.
That's a weird take for Georgia. I agree.
Yeah.
That was kind of strange. Solely based on ability, clearly.
And he's not even like, everybody you talk to is like, it's not like he can't miss.
Yeah, he's not Jameis.
String beat.
Yeah. Marlon writes, hello, gentlemen. So the Magnificent Seven turned into the Terrific Three. I keep hearing North Carolina is very much coveted, but no one has given me a real answer as to why. Why are they coveted? They haven't won their conference since 1980, and basketball doesn't cover the bills. Who cares about North Carolina? It's a good point, Marlon.
Yeah.
It is a weird one, man.
It is a weird one.
Same thing with Virginia.
Yeah,
they mentioned Virginia as like mattering.
Yeah, I mean, I always got it. North Carolina and Virginia, I always got it from Big Ten perspective because that was the Big Ten
high
sponsors,
academic standards, and all that,
type schools and land grant, flagship universities. But now I don't know. In this world, I don't know. I don't know why they are, but it is like literally anybody you talk to in this industry,
They all say that they're
North
very
Carolina's,
coveted.
Off the charts.
Could not be they almost go out of their way to insult you. Like, oh, well, you think Florida State matters? Look at North Carolina. Like, go easy there, killer. North Carolina hasn't done a damn thing in football in forever and a day. Dre Bly.
Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor 40 years ago.
Yeah.
By the way, this is just creeped into my head as you said that. And
Dre Bly.
Sorry,
You like that? Yeah.
Sorry to take. Yeah, Dre Bly was a good reference.
Until
But
Peter Warwick got a hold of him.
I don't want to divert us too much from the questions. But I was listening to a podcast. It's one of those when you listen to the podcast and you're kind of not paying attention, it goes to the next one and just an algorithm.
Yeah.
It loaded up a college football podcast. The Athletic people.
I've never listened to it. I don't know.
I hadn't listened to it either before. So the guy, Ari Wasserman, I guess, he goes on this rant about how it's not sustainable what Florida State's doing, what Mike Norvell's doing in the transfer. It's not sustainable. And it's weird to me that that's the only sport people ever say that with. Like nobody ever says about basketball. These teams rosters are flipping left and right with the transfer portal. Nobody says it's not sustainable in basketball. Baseball, college baseball, these college baseball rosters.
Florida State just did it.
They're constantly, but it's not sustainable. But that's fine. But in football, for whatever reason, it's not sustainable. Even though now Florida State now they were 9-3, or 10-3, 13-0. This team's going to be top 10 in the country going into the season. I don't get why like people are still saying it's not sustainable. I just don't get it. And it's not like Florida State's all transfers. It's like if you look at I jotted it down on paper last night. I think over half the starters this season are going to be guys who came in as high school players. It's not going to be much more than half, but it's going to be about half.
I think people are having a hard time, like traditionalists are having a hard time with the new frontier.
Yeah, readjusting.
Yeah, they're struggling to reconcile.
I got that
how
a
it's
year
possible.
or two ago. I don't get it anymore.
Right. Well, this is what I do when I get mad at these writers who seem to think Florida State is the devil, and I'm like, well, okay, you may have been clueless a couple years ago when this was all changing, but you don't get a pass anymore. Yeah, there's no excuse anymore. Bob writes, assuming Sunbelt Billy is sent packing after next season, who do you see the Gators pursuing? Oh, who knows? I mean, they've had a bunch of coaches lately, guys. It's been a run.
I mean, I think a lot of people assume it'll be Lane just because he wants it. He would want it probably. But
and I guess with Lane, maybe I have to reconcile the fact that he has changed a lot. At
least outwardly, I guess.
Yeah, and some of the people that seem to know him say that it's legit. I don't know. I have a hard time. I'm believing that. It's rare that people do change. But apparently he was allegedly a bit of a drunk and now hasn't had a drop in 2 years. Maybe it's changed him. And that would make sense. He could change if that were the case. He doesn't look as disheveled on a daily basis.
That's true.
Maybe there's evidence to that end,
We'll see on Coach Speak. We'll see this fall.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Buddy.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
I would say, he would be the logical choice to at least go after. But again, you look at is that a thing? Like, look at the people that Florida has hired. They hired a guy from Utah who ended up being very good. Before that was Duke. So you went Duke, Utah. Where was McElwain? Colorado State. Muschamp was what? South Carolina.
Well, remember McElwain had been on Saban's staff.
Yeah, but you're not hiring from a top 10 type program,
right?
Which Ole Miss has turned itself into under Lane. It just that seems like that might be wishful thinking. That just doesn't happen a lot, other than Jimbo's.
I think I would agree with you in most cases, but I feel like Lane's people has put it out there. I think that he's not there for the long term.
He probably knows what the ceiling is there at Ole Miss.
Yeah, because I mean, Florida State he was going to be a top target for Florida State, and I think it's because they thought they might be able to get him.
I think Lane lets everybody know that he's available to the right program. That's got to suck if you're an Ole Miss.
I mean, you can't live in Mississippi
forever.
I mean, he's done his time. He's done his time over there.
Jason wants to know, you guys have already probably answered the question, but don't you think that having Norvell able to talk in the quarterback's helmet gives us a huge advantage over teams, especially like Miami talking to Cristobal? Boy, everybody wants to take shots at Cristobal, which is easy to do and fun to do. I don't know if Cristobal is going to be in the head of the quarterback. He can't be. It's going to be the OC because Cristobal is an offensive line guy.
I will say this. Somebody mentioned this to me at ACC spring meetings, a media member that covers another program, and he said he thought that Norvell being there with DJ will probably be a big advantage. And I think that's accurate. I think DJ, again, if you look back at his time as a college quarterback, and there's a lot to look back at, I think sometimes in games he's kind of like gotten lost a little bit in terms of either confidence or just seeing the big picture, like what you need in this situation. I think Mike Norvell, I think that'll be good for him.
Yeah, I agree. I just wonder, so Could tow cars take over?
He could, but
like for a drive?
He could.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know that you have to declare it or if it's just one microphone for the side. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something we need to figure out. We need to talk to him about once August gets here.
David's mad that we don't say enough about Coach Hamilton letting this program rot. He wants us to talk about it more, and he thinks that it's embarrassing that we're going to go into next season given the current circumstances. Now, this is David's thing. He writes about this a lot. I am addressing it.
They're not going to be good.
They're going to be terrible, and we've said as much.
Us screaming about it's going to change anything.
Belaboring the point.
Michael Alford was asked about Leonard Hamilton, it was just a media member asked him when we were over at the spring meetings about kind of Leonard Hamilton adjusting to the times. And this was not even it wasn't a pointed question, but Michael Alford went on a thing about, Coach Hamilton's a legend. What he's done for Florida State is incredible. And we know nothing's going to change. So us standing on, I don't know what do you want
I think
us to
maybe
do?
the question could be, well, why isn't anything going to change? You could address it from that because they are going to be, they're going to be awful this year. And they've been awful for 2.5 years now. So, and this is his last year. So why stand pat?
Because we've answered this question.
I know. I think David didn't hear the answer.
Well,
so that's
I think
why
he
you
has
explained
because
it
he's
to him.
asked it a lot. And David, that's fine. I like that you want more out of FSU basketball and that you love basketball. That's fine. And you haven't said anything personal about Leonard Hamilton, so I'm allowing for it. But here's the thing.
Otherwise, he'll ban your ass
that's it.
with a quickness.
Ask James B.
Yeah, he lived that life.
But what I'm saying is they are doing – this is a weird set of circumstances unlike any in the history of basketball, especially around here. They are not in a position to hire the next coach, which is why they can't fire this one. They are suing the league that they're in to try to get out. Nobody's coming here if they don't know which league they're going to be coaching in. The NIL situation is not set up to succeed because people don't want to invest in that until they know where Florida State's going to be playing basketball. You are effed and going into next year. You have a coach who has 1 year left. You might as well let him finish it out. It does suck. It's a horrible thing to have a lame duck season. It's embarrassing. It is. It's all terrible. It's acknowledged, but they aren't. Who are they hiring?
Us screaming about it's not going to change anything.
I mean, I'll acknowledge week to week when the season starts that they lost again. I mean, I'm not going to pretend it's not happening, but you know it's going to happen. There's no sense in expecting anything else and just hoping that it'll change. And by the way, us saying to Ira's point, because he's addressing the folks at Warchant plural, us saying that this is going to be an awful year, they're going to have to move on from Leonard Hamilton, which has been stated by all of us. Saying it over and over and again doesn't change anything. I mean, when they lose game number 10 and they're 1-9 or whatever the hell they are at that point, do you want us to say it louder as if it's going to change anything? It's not going to change anything.
It just sucks that it's ending like this.
It's awful.
And I don't even know what the roster is. Chandler Jackson, come on, dog. We need you. We need you 30 a game.
Levi just
He's going to have a Chris Jackson type season, Ira.
Levi just wanted us to know that the BOGO registered sausage at Publix is crazy. Thanks for the heads up.
It is crazy, Levi. Get out there. You guys got – I mean, it's really –
Can you buy 6, get 6?
I don't know if they frown upon that, but yeah, man.
I feel like you can, right?
Okay. For sure. You just got to have freezer space.
Ambassador to Florida writes, registered sausage is now in Pensacola, and it's BOGO here, too. The local favorite sausage that shall not be named throws its money towards the Crimson Tide. So when you buy their sausage, it's like buying them a 5-star player. Don't do it.
Right.
How about that?
Man, it's getting personal. These wars.
Yeah,
between
these
the
sausage
wars, they're out here.
It's the great sausage wars of 24.
He did ask a question at the end. The next time we play Alabama, who's going to be favored in the game? Ooh.
That's a good question.
What do we got here? The fact that we're paused.
Yeah.
When do they play them? I was trying to think of when they play them.
That game's not going to go as scheduled, right?
3 years. I don't know. Who knows?
But if the way it's on the schedule right now, is it 2 years?
I think it's 26, right?
I think it's 3 years. Yeah.
When's Georgia?
I'll look it up.
All right. I would say. I would say Florida.
It's here. It's here.
I think it's here. I'm going to say Florida State will be.
No more shipping these games off either. None of that nonsense.
Yeah. Bring them to Doak. Alabama's never played in Doak. Bring them to Doak.
Florida State by 2.5.
Yeah, sure. I think so.
DeBoer's clinging for life.
Croman Hawk will be making a Heisman
candidate.
Yeah, 2025 at home. 2026 at Alabama. So
it's Croman. It'll be, and that'll probably be the opener. So is Croman Hawk's first start going to be against Alabama?
Him or Brock, buddy.
But is that the opener? Do you have a date?
Yeah, it's August 30th.
Yeah, that's going to be the opener. They should play a week 0 game. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. Maybe have a week 0 game. See what.
Well, if it's his first start ever, I don't know that Florida State will be favored.
Yeah,
that's a toughie. Like you got a kid,
but it'll be Alabama's quarterback's first start too on the road at Florida State, and it won't be like their talent is so crazy that you don't have a chance, right?
No. It's DeBoer. It's not Saban. I mean, yeah.
But I bet
Alabama
will get somebody in the portal. I bet that's probably pretty good.
You would think.
We're putting it as a pick 'em right now.
It's a pick 'em right now. It's a great question. It's a pick 'em.
Run to the gate.
Yeah.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now.
A house went up in flames Sunday in Tallahassee, killing 2 dogs. A little after 11:30 a.m. Sunday, firefighters were dispatched to a residential fire located on Lake Atkinson Drive. Crews arrived on scene and found heavy fire coming from the home and quickly began extinguishing the fire. The cause of the fire appeared to have been from unattended cooking. Firefighters searched the home and found no people inside. However, TFD said 2 dogs did pass away in the fire. No injuries were reported on the scene. 1 man is dead after a shooting at a gas station. Officials reported the incident happened just before 11 p.m. Friday. The man was shot at the Circle K near the intersection of Monroe Street and Shearer Road, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene. Investigation is open and active. Police ask anyone with information about the incident to call 850-891-4200, or you can also remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 88. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again tonight. Lows level off around 68. High temperatures reach up to 90 tomorrow. Mainly clear skies. Highs level off around 91 Thursday under mainly sunny skies. 90 Friday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
This is Shannon Young with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Sellers, are you stuck between wanting to sell your home and waiting for rates to fall? Are you worried about the contingency of having to sell your home? What if you didn't have to? With a 2-1 rate buy down, you can lock in a lower interest rate for the first 2 years of your mortgage and get the home you want now, all while having a higher chance to buy that next home with the contingency of selling yours. If you wait for rates to fall, you risk more competition, sellers less likely to wait, and paying more for that next property. If you're stuck, we need to talk. Give me a call at 954-369-6171. Again, this is Shannon Young with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. That's 954-369-6171. And don't forget, for every loan we close for our fellow Noles, I will personally donate $250 to the Battle's End.
Equal housing rent. NMLS number 373031. Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I screwed it up. Perfect game is no more. Damn it. Jerry wants to know, is there anything new in the FSU BOT versus ACC amended complaint filed yesterday in Leon County? Go Noles and Register Sausage.
I have not poured through it, man. So Florida State had to
They set a new date, though, right?
Well, yeah, and they had to refile their complaint to explain why this should be the jurisdiction in Florida. They did that. There's probably some more stuff in there, man. I have not gone through it all. I just haven't had the spirit to go back through another however many 60-page document. So I don't know if there's anything crazy in there. Some things are worded differently. But there's supposed to be a Zoom hearing today, and then they'll set a new courtroom hearing. And when they do, I'll be there. But I haven't had a chance to read through the latest one.
By the way, Aslan texted us and said that Connor Whitaker's getting the start today, Jeff.
All right.
For the Noles.
Nice.
Big news.
Figure you
So
try
you
to
go
get 3 or 4
2 or 3
innings out of
innings.
them. Yeah, you get 3 or 4 innings out
Come
of
on,
them.
Connor. Here we go.
Then that's a nice piece to have, no matter what happens, as long as you don't give up 12, which Georgia
again,
Tech,
knock on wood, yeah.
Georgia Tech can hit. You feel good about maybe
That's big,
having
yeah.
him being actually a starter next weekend.
Ira, I want you to expound on
You're expounding on
A lot of
everything these
expounding.
days.
the
yeah.
writ of certiorari.
You're the wrong guy, buddy. Get Tom Quitz in here.
Hey guys, this is from Swanky Knoll.
All right.
I've been listening from Georgia since the 4-letter network days.
Nice.
There's enough time gone by to reveal one good, juicy, never heard before Jimbo story. I can tell from the love in his voice that Ira has special feelings towards Coach Jimbo Fischer. Keep up the good work and go Noles. Thanks, Swanky Knoll. I think we've revealed plenty of stories. We've kind of had our moments. There's not any other real juicy stories. Ira and him got into a fist fight one time at a bar I had to break up, but other than that.
And Ira landed the first punch.
Yeah.
Now, all you did was make Jimbo mad.
He caught him, but I
Yeah.
got in and broke it up,
Yeah.
so the sucker punch worked. It was
Yeah.
great. Still 1-0 Ira.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You don't want to do this, Jimbo.
You know
he
what?
ain't worth it. He ain't worth
Ira,
it, Jimbo.
get out of here. Get out of here, Ira. Jesus.
When we start our Patreon channel, you can unveil some of your outtakes from your audio interviews with him. If you have any of those laying around.
Yeah, I got a few.
Should we start a Patreon or an OnlyFans?
OnlyFans?
I think OnlyFans doesn't have to be sexual.
Straight
No,
from the sauna.
could be about our feet.
Yeah, well, that's still
6 best looking
Yeah,
feet in the
think
business
about
right
that,
here.
guys.
The whole time we're talking, you
30
hear our
toes.
voices.
You
It's
get to
just
see
all
30
of our
toes.
feet right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, man, how awesome is that?
Which one do you think is Corey's?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that Ira or Corey
Yeah.
or Jeff's feet? I
When we
like it.
talk, it's just our big toe movement.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Like a puppet
We
show.
could make a killing in some shoe store or sock store with sponsors. There's no
we
sock
don't
store,
need
but
it.
you know what I
It's
mean? Like,
Patreon. It's OnlyFans. The
Yeah.
fans are sponsoring.
Let's
us.
go. William writes, FSU, Clemson, and North Carolina are all hopping off the ACC train. The SEC has rights to the best teams in each southern state except Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Would it make sense for Virginia to be next?
I mean, I think they're definitely coveted. And again, I mean, I think it's
a
weird.
weird covet.
Yeah, but I do think they are coveted. I mean, they do open a state. I mean, like that is still a thing. I don't think it's the overriding thing that it was probably 5-10 years ago.
But do people in that state care about Virginia football?
But you're still, the TV sets do matter, man. Like it is a thing,
Right.
as long as there's
So
cable.
the TV sets matter maybe more than the ratings. Just
It depends. I mean, like
being
I think it's a
accessible
sliding
to it?
scale.
Yeah.
I think.
Does it bother anybody else? The baseball program seems to be completely ignored when it comes to the SEC Big Ten debate. FSU baseball and the Big Ten would suck something awful, wouldn't it?
Yes, correct. That's a very good point.
Yeah, Terry's bringing that up.
It would be. I mean, imagine what would even be the road trips? You got to go to Eugene and
Michigan's had a decent program.
and
still
USC,
hoping-
but then there's the Northwestern and Nebraska, and I mean, yeah, that would be crazy.
We were talking to Mike Brady, who's the
Yeah, I know
faculty-
Mike
yeah,
well.
you know Mike. He's a former FSU baseball player,
Yes, he
faculty rep
is.
for
Great guy.
FSU, and he was talking about just adding these teams, the Cal and the Stanford and SMU in for all these other sports in terms of travel and the academics. And again, we could talk about whether or not college athletics is really focused on academics or not.
Yeah.
But in a lot of these sports, those kids are focused on academics.
Yeah.
And now you start having travel where they've got to travel across the country and miss classes and miss exams and all that kind of stuff. It could be a big issue. I still feel like at some point we're going to get to the point where you have football treated as whether it's a super conference or whatever, and then all these other sports are in their own conferences.
How is the Stanford equestrian team going to get their horses across the country?
Good question.
How's that happen? Are there rowboats for the rowing team? What just think of the money that must cost.
Well, who else in the league has a rowboat team?
I think it's just Stanford. Maybe Duke. I think we looked it up. Duke, as you might not surprise you.
Yeah.
And maybe Boston College have rowing teams.
I like that you called it rowboat.
Yeah, they have they have rowboats, right?
They do.
What do you
I
call
just-
What do you call a boat that you row in?
I mean, it's crew, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a rowboat though,
But I
right?
bet it's called something different.
Well,
but
it's
even if
probably-
it's not called something different, I think
I
you
like
should
that.
call the
It's
whole
called
sport rowboating.
Rowboating is
Yeah.
a lot better.
How are they going to compete in their rowboating?
First team all ACC
Rowboater,
Yeah,
not
that'd be
motorboater. He's not a motorboater.
No.
He's a rowboater.
Can we point out that they absolutely, this isn't a question, this is an observation. What in the world was going on with the all ACC honors voting that Cam Smith is second
It's a little
team?
weird one. Yeah.
I don't. Who was first team? Who was the
Tibbs
third
made
baseman?
first team.
Well,
Jimmy Arnold
no.
made
Who was
first
the
team.
first team
third
third
baseman?
Oh, can't be better than Cam Smith.
You wouldn't think, but maybe he is. There are some really good
What's
players
weird
in this
is,
conference.
and like FSU baseball put out the video of them and of Link announcing on the team bus that Tibbs was ACC Player of the Year, which was cool. He got a big cheer from all of his teammates, but he also announced everybody else. And when he announced Cam Smith got second team, I wanted like the whole team to be like,
start
"What
booing?"
just
start rocking the bus.
How's that even possible?
That's crazy. Nathaniel Hornblower on the Facebook says, "Hey, look at Corey getting the prompt out before midnight."
I did it. I did it.
Zyler comes through. Crew boats are called shells. And
Yeah,
I think I knew that. I knew that.
In the great sport of
Couldn't think of
rowboating.
I mean, look, you can call them shells if you want.
Yeah.
I'm old school. They're
He
rowboats.
remembers the days back when rowboating was a big deal. Guys, most of the focus so far has been on literally every other position, but I'm thinking our punting and kicking game could take yet another step forward and prove to be a huge part of our ability to control games this year. You're not wrong, Nathaniel. We are incredibly experienced in both spots. He's noting this could be like a Sean Powell D-Hop or a Graham Gano type of year. Wouldn't suck. Also, Jeff, what's the status of those braces? Oh, they're still in place. We got a long ways to go with Clark, man. We were dealing with an alien mouth, so this will be a while.
Not a long way to go.
No, maybe not a long way to go, but we're still hanging in there. So anyhow, the point would be this: Corey just doesn't care about our punter, and I went with you, Nathaniel.
It's
I think
weird that I did. That's odd that I think I left him off because he is good. He's been and he's going to be important this year, man. They're not going to score 50 points every game.
Do you think Oxford Blues could be a successful movie today? You just don't see rowing in the consciousness. Like I feel like back then it was
omnipresent, right?
We didn't bat an eye about a good rowing movie.
Let's watch it. It's going to be great. Yeah.
So the guy that was first team All ACC is Ben Miller from Duke, who's
good
hitting
player.
383 with 13 homers and 42 RBIs.
That's not bad. Not Cam Smith.
Yeah, he isn't Cam Smith.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's a
weird.
screwing.
I mean, they're close. They're very similar.
Screwing.
But yeah, they have similar numbers. But yeah, I think Cam Smith's probably better.
I bet Cam runs the bases better.
Yeah, Cam's a very, very good athlete.
He's crazy
impressive.
how fast he is.
He's an impressive athlete.
Ted writes, "Good afternoon, gents, and hello from Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm.
Who do you guys see as the best kicker in FSU history?" He says, "I'm thinking it's between Janikowski." By the way, he includes Bentley. Bentley's not on the list.
No.
So sorry, Ted. Right
He
off the
did
bat,
make a big kick.
It was a very big kick.
It's a 22
not
yard.
on the list.
Yeah.
Not on the list. It's between, as he puts it, Janikowski and Aguayo. And then it says maybe you could insert Hopkins in there somewhere. It's between.
We ain't inserting Hopkins anywhere.
No, you know that.
Yeah.
It is definitely Janikowski and Aguayo.
I think it's Aguayo.
The answer statistically is Aguayo.
Yeah,
but
Aguayo's
we all
season,
know Janikowski's the best kicker in Florida State history.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yes.
But when
Yes, he
it comes
is.
to like getting the ball through the uprights,
It's
the one guy was better than the
all
other one.
day. I would say this. Janikowski could probably still kick in the NFL. I know that doesn't count in FSU's history, but it certainly skews my vote because my man was good for 20 years and is going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Well, he won't. But
Aguayo spent an hour in the NFL sucking.
He's the most talented by far. But when you're talking about just their college careers,
I know. That's why I said the answer is Aguayo
Yeah.
statistically,
Yes.
but we know in our hearts who the answer is.
I don't know, man. He missed
It's
an extra
Janik-
point in the national championship
It's
game.
Janikowski.
He missed an extra point
He
in the
also
national
made a kick
championship.
in Gainesville that they called back, backed it
I
up,
know,
turned to the
I know.
crowd,
I was
gave
there.
them that
I was
and did it
there.
again.
I was there.
Aguayo ain't doing that.
Aguayo did a lot of
Aguayo
good
ain't
things.
doing that,
Well,
buddy.
he's not
It's
doing he's not doing
Janikowski
this.
is the man who's doing that.
Aguayo was awesome.
Me defending the Aguayo second round pick was not my proudest moment on this show.
I'm still mad about the
And
fact
I
that
think if they drafted him where they should have in the fourth
might have
round or
worked out
something,
better.
he might still be kicking in the
second
league.
round probably
Well,
was.
I was mad
second
at him for
round-
doing it in the second round too, and I first guessed it wasn't going to work,
It
and I'm
puts
still
undue
mad
pressure
about
on a kid. Don't do that.
it. Well, just be better. Just go make your kicks.
That's another option. Hey, there's two options here.
We love you, Roberto.
Yeah.
I mean, just be better. If you could watch one non-FSU football game, what would it be? I watched tons of non-FSU football games. I don't understand the
Like
question.
this year, the Miami Florida game is going to be a lot of
I
fun.
can't wait to watch that game.
Be a lot of fun.
There
We'll
are
be-
many.
We'll be back from Ireland,
By
right?
the
That's the
way-
next week.
Yeah.
Isn't that the next week?
Oh yeah, we'll be partying. We'll be up at the corner pocket getting after it, watching that game, right? I would say this: there are several games. This doesn't make you can't take my FSU card for this. There's several games a year that I care to watch more than an FSU game.
We are taking your FSU.
Yeah,
several games.
What's the matter with
when
you?
Florida State's playing Boston College at the same time that Ohio State's playing Michigan or something, I'm like, I'd rather watch the Ohio State-Michigan game than I would this FSU-Boston College game.
How about Ohio State-Penn State?
I was going to say.
Ooh, I don't count Penn State anymore.
Ooh,
I don't count Penn State anymore.
Ohio State just that one game.
Ohio State and Michigan don't play in October.
We
know when they play.
You know the point
I
I'm
do
making.
know the point.
I'm just saying there's a lot of games. Texas-Oklahoma, I like that game most weeks more than any FSU game.
Really, the only bad thing about this job, the only bad thing, and it's not even that bad, is that you do when you're at a stadium for 5 or 6 or 7 hours, you don't get to live the college football fan life because you don't get to switch and watch the last 4. We'll see on Twitter, oh, my God, did you see that happen? And we're waiting for Norvell to come into the press conference.
Well, man, when they're beating Southern Miss by 65 points and there's 10 other games against top 20 teams, I mean, I'd rather watch any one of those games.
Do they play Southern Miss this year? And Memphis? Is that right? I know they play Memphis. Florida State? Okay,
now,
we don't know the schedule either.
The point would be, though, that we do
we don't know
Florida
when they
State.
play, who they play.
Not only that, I'm going to watch Florida State more than once before I come on the air on Monday.
That's right. Say it.
But the point is there are many games I'd rather watch more than that FSU game against the team they're 45-point favorites over.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's normal, right? That's any college football.
Charleston Southern.
Okay.
Not Southern Miss.
So let me just say this. Had there been another good game on the night that Florida State played Duquesne,
right?
Almost any other game.
That's who they need to play next year.
Temple and like anybody else.
They need to get on it. Alford, I know, is a big listener of this show. Mike, you need to get on it. Schedule a week 0 game. Get Duquesne here next year in August 22nd or something, because you do not want to open up with Alabama. That does not need to be the first start for your quarterback.
Is the kid for North? It was North Alabama that Jordan got hurt against, right?
Yes.
Is the kid who hip dropped Jordan Travis in that game? Is he still playing at North Alabama? And will he be next year? Because you could get that game on your schedule and take him out.
Okay, well, look, I don't know. This isn't the show. This isn't the show we want to be, Jeff.
I'm just going to let you know I'm taking knees.
I know. We know. That's
did.
on. You're on
we
record.
Saw it.
Yeah, but we do know what he did, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, taking knees if he's still there.
That young man, I don't know if maybe he hit the portal. I don't know, or maybe he's back. He's a senior leader. Who knows?
Final one, I guess, because we got a minute and a half. During his playing days at UF, do you think Austin Maddox put his name on the sign-up sheet for babysitting availability?
Oh boy!
So that we texted about that. For the people that don't know, he was caught in a sting.
Yes.
Former UF pitcher.
Former UF pitcher, former Red Sox pitcher.
That is funny.
It was a sting for him trying to hook up with a teenage girl on the internet, and it happened. Have you seen the video? Is incredible. He's walking into this duplex, and they've got it all on camera. There's a SWAT team waiting on the other side of the door. And as soon as he opens the door, the guy charges at him and tackles him on the lawn. The dog's everywhere. I told Ira they should just let the dog loose. He thought he was, we don't know what age, but a teenager, not legal, so probably 13 to 15.
Allegedly. Well, it was part
allegedly.
of a ring. Right?
It wasn't a ring. It was a sting. It wasn't, because that's what I thought. It was
the first report may have said something.
They were enticing guys how they did How to Catch a Predator, the Chris Hansen thing. They were just doing that with a bunch of different guys in the Gainesville area, I guess. He happened to be one of them. There's a lot of creeps in this world, folks.
They seem to disproportionately play for Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it is kind of odd.
Yeah. Good point.
I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
There seems to be an awful lot, including the head coach of that baseball program. Say goodbye, guys.
That's right. Peace out, gang.
Say goodbye,
Peace
everybody. Good work out of you, Corey. Goodbye. Ira, anything to say?
Talk to you next time.
It got uncomfortable for Ira late in the show. Don't forget, wake up Warchant. Don't forget to sign up, warchant.com, and subscribe. All kinds of great deals there, the stories, all that good stuff. Jeff Cameron Show tomorrow live, same time as always. Thanks for listening. Peace.